Speaking of Elden Ring, though, right? Have you watched Jez's wife's attempt at it?
Not yet, but it's on the list.
Oh man, it's pretty good. Oh man, I got quite a few people today. Well, for me anyway.
All that hot soul winning talk.
Right. Well, I was muted up until I said I was live. Right.
Oh, so they missed all the soul winning talk. Oh, you're depriving the people of the best content.
Yeah,
I was worried for today. I thought, will Respawn actually show up and do a live Twitch broadcast, because he's going to be knee deep in Monster Hunter guts.
Oh my God!
He's not going to be here to talk about Destiny. We're going to be here to talk about Destiny, but he's not going to be here to talk about Destiny.
Half the people we play Destiny with is actually with me on Monster Hunter right now.
I understand that.
Yeah, and Don yesterday is like, "How are you that level?" I'm like, "How are you not?"
Because he has no life and he plays Monster Hunter all day. But quick question: I would say this is the last time we'll mention Monster Hunter, and I know deep in my heart that is simply not the case.
No, it is. That's the case. This is the preamble before the title comes, and then the titles come. We talk about Destiny, and then whatever he says after that is nothing to do with Monster Hunter. So this is your 2 seconds. This is your 2 seconds parody to talk about Monster Hunter. The rest of it is cut, unless you're here live.
Well, my question is, because I saw Dad, I think Dada wanting to say, I wanted to do a what's the name of his stupid series of just multiple failures over and over again that I had in my brain until I went to go say it, and now it's gone. Anyway, his whole point was trying to get people together in Monster Hunter to do that was fraught and painful. Mm-hmm. Is it a pain to play multiplayer, or do they just not expect any of you all to have friends? Like, what's the deal with the Monster Hunter multiplayer?
Well, there's a thing with
not that I have it, and I'm not going to get it because I just don't care. Right. But I'm just curious.
In the old Monster Hunter, just like Destiny, you could just invite people to your party, and you could have lobbies. I think like up to 16 people. Somebody correct me. It's been a long time since I played World, right? But you could have a bunch of people in your lobby, right? And then you pick a mission. And then whoever wants to join that mission, they can join up to 4 people, right? Super easy, super intuitive. In this game...
Like every other game in the entire world, since multiplayer's been a thing. Mm-hmm.
In this game, if you're not a part of a squad, you have to do something called the link system, right? So you link with somebody else's, like a friend on Steam or whatever, right? You don't see them. Apparently that's a bug. Right, the patch notes that just came out yesterday or today says that that's going to be addressed, but you don't see your link party members.
Already sounds
you don't
dumb.
even know if they're there, right? Until they join your group, right? Or your mission, I should say, right? The hunt. So that's one problem. Second problem is as soon as you can only hear me. Hold on, my bad, guys.
Dependable as usual. I'm just going to roll the title saying nobody wants to hear the rest of this rubbish.
No.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts. The Triumph Hunting Titan Night Demon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Rager, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
Oh, first off, so I was doubly wrong. It was not Dado, it's My Name is Bife, and it's the That Sounds Like a You Problem series. So he was trying to get people together to play and was just like, why in the year of our internet 2025 is this so hard to get people together to play a single activity? Like, that's one of those, again, like I've never played a Monster Hunter game. I know next to nothing about monster hunting, but just watching, hearing Bife go like, well, I wanted to do a That Sounds Like a You Problem series, but we literally couldn't get people into the lobby long enough or for a repeated time or something to even make it feasible. And I'm like, how is that a problem on a major game in this day and age?
You know what I say to Bife? That sounds like a you problem, mate.
That sounds like a you problem.
Go back to Destiny. But Moments of Triumph is here, so that's fun.
It is.
Don't pretend. No, hang on a minute. What? Don't pretend like we've been talking about Destiny all this time. and we're now just gonna moments of triumph here.
I'm not pretending like we've been talking this whole time. I'm.
Who are you?
Who
are you, sir? Do not pretend to be somebody that you're not. This is Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life, pretender of the game of Destiny 2 this week at least. Don't pretend you've been even doing moments of triumph. You probably logged on, looked at something, and then went, "I'm going back to Monster Hunter," but probably not even done that.
Fake fan. Name 3 Exos. Bet you can't.
The red Exo, the yellow Exo, and the sweeper bot. Boom, got him.
Not even Cade. Oh, how bad! Get off the show. Get off the show. Get off the show
anymore.
Nope. This is
no longer Hunter Vanguard. You are no longer Hunter Vanguard.
This is clearly an imposter anymore. What do you want? Also,
I didn't say I'm living Exo.
Exos, they're bots.
I'm just saying that this is clearly an imposter. I don't know who this man is.
So in the pot there is Peroty, and I am Night Demon. I'm here to host these two jokers for the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can now you can carry on with moments of triumph. Go.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I just logged on for the first time before the show.
See?
So
there's
weapons
here, and there's
weapons.
A shirt you could buy, and maybe you've done all the things, and maybe you looked at the list and said, "No, I'm not doing any of those things."
Yeah, a lot of these things on the list I've already done. I'm a little aggravated that it's not done for me. It's silly biscuits, man. We know you've done all these things. We know that this is a moment of triumph for you, and we're giving you credit for things you've done.
Nope.
But we're not actually going to recognize these things you've done until you do them again.
Now, you were here last week.
I know, I was here last week.
And I did tell you these things. I said...
Well, you assumed. You said it's probably going to be like that. Yes, but we didn't know.
I do know, because every time that Moments of Triumph comes around, they go, "We can see that you've completed the story, but you know what? You spent 16 hours in that raid. Do you remember me saying you spent 16 hours in that raid? Well, guess what? We didn't recognize you've done that. You've got to go and do it again." So even if you fought tooth and nail to get that clear, the game goes, "You know what? We need you to do it again just so you can get this t-shirt."
It's important.
It's always the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I logged on and I grabbed all the triumphs that were flashing at me, and I think I've already got the Ghost and the Sparrow. I think I'm up to 22, so I only need to do a few more things that say that I've done them. I've nearly done my Sundered Doctrine. I've no idea if I've ranked up with Banshee. I can't believe that's one of them. Rank up with Banshee. That is quite hard to go through, to keep going back round and deleting guns just so that you can rank up. So yeah,
I bet if you went into your vault, you'd fix that pretty quick.
No.
You don't need to go anywhere near the vault. You just need to step into the game, and they're like, "Here's 7 new guns. Just delete them all. They're probably crap, or ones you have exact rolls of already."
Mm-hmm.
You would honestly be proud of me this week because of the live stream. Because of the live stream that happened, my brain went into full panic mode because my vault was at 700. My postmasters were like at 15 on each character, and I was like, I honestly don't know how I'm going to play this game going forward because there's no wiggle room. There was like no wiggle room on characters, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I'm at breaking point with the game, and I went through individually writing things down and double crossing and checking and things. I now have 23 spaces in my vault, and some of my characters actually have
free or 23 used. That's a stupid question. I just want to hear him say it.
23 free spaces in my vault.
Intervention.
How many on your character slots? If your characters are completely empty, that I'll give you credit for that.
Oh no, they're not.
Oh, no, they are absolutely chock full. You know this.
They've got one space in each slot for something to drop. We still have, on average, I'd say about 8 things in the postmaster for each character, but they're a work in progress.
We are carefully monitoring their status.
Look, I mean, you might have to do what I did. Just go into every, like, for example,
I did what you said. Yeah, I'd already been doing that, and things where I'd seen videos and I remembered I'd seen a video on and going, "You need a god roll of this." I left one item with the god roll details and went, "If I get this, I'm going to double check it across with this weapon. If I get that, I'm going to delete that one. That is the space for the god roll weapon.
But not just like a god roll of a weapon.
Oh yeah,
of each weapon. I'm like, even in that weapon archetype, in that weapon element, right? If I have an arc machine gun that has a god roll, then I don't need another arc machine gun with that same god roll. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah. So, yeah.
So I actually went through individually and checked my Dead Man's Tale rolls as well, because I had 3 of those from when Dead Man's Tale first came around, and you were able to do, I think it was Presage, and 2 of them have rolls that you cannot get anymore. So I've kept those 2. I'm like,
yeah, that's fine. I do that too.
You two are staying. And
Just
anything
like the
else.
palindrome, I still have the void palindromes now that we have the arc one. Yeah, things like that.
Oh yeah. Revision 0, I think, that's still around. The Osteostrega, anything that is craftable, that is an exotic, is in my vault. And exotics that I'm using at the moment are currently on my characters, like the Monarch and the Trespasser, but all the rest of them are now deleted. I then went through and had a look at like previous rewards that we had for like Crucible and things like that. So what was the weapon that I had? I can't remember now. There was like, the seasonal weapons that you can get that if you delete them, you can then reacquire them via your collections.
Yeah.
So I now need Bungie to go, right, here's your vault. Here's your collections of exotic gear that you can also then pull out. And then here's the other weapons that are also available to pull back out that you forgot that you owned, that you got for that season, that you can still use. And I need it all to be built into DIM, and then I will be happy.
Yeah, but in order for it to be built in DIM, it needs to be built into the API.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bungie need to get on it so it can be built into DIM.
I mean, they could do a lot of things. Like, they could do the other game that we talked about before, where you could pick that one weapon and store it, like, in your weapon catalog and just pull it out when you want that one god roll weapon. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what game was that. Was it Valorant? No.
Fortnite,
yeah. Fortnite. So, I mean, they could have a system like that in place. I mean, there's literally a trove of things they could do to solve our problem, and they've done literally none of them.
No,
so
I have faith. No, I have faith that they will do something, because
in
they
the
are
next game. Sure.
No, they are slowly doing stuff with this game. I mean, who'd have thought that you'd be able to access your vault from space at some point? Just go into your character, push a button.
We didn't need that.
Well,
I mean, it's cool quality of life, but I'd rather have more space to be able to access from space, personally.
That's something I never thought I would use as much, but I throw things into the vault all the time. Stuff I've pulled out, and I don't have to grab the app. It is really nice just to be able to go, let me dump this in here. Now I have to remember I'm in that mode before I dump 6 other things I meant to delete in there.
Yes.
But it's really nice to go, well, I pulled this load out from DIM. I don't actually need these weapons. I just wanted the armor. Now let me, or not from DIM, from from the loadouts. But let me throw the weapons back in the vault, because I don't need those on my character, because you're going to give me 7 new guns that I somehow need a place to put.
That is my favorite thing to do, is go, I'm going to dump these weapons, or I'm going to dump this armor into Destiny Item Manager, into my vault via like just in space or in the middle of a mission and things, and then go, I need that weapon equipped, and then realize that I've pushed the button, it's now gone to the vault. I now need to find that weapon. I end up then loading up DIM and going, where is that weapon? I cannot find that weapon. Where'd that weapon go?
You just search by recent. You open the vault and you hit the first button on the sort, and it shows you the most recent. So
there you go.
Last in, first out. It'll be right there at the top. Having done that a number of times, that's one of the few sorting options that are actually useful. Yeah, so like the last 2 or 3 things you put in there.
Expert.
Yeah, I mean, you just in the vault of the game, I think recency is like one of the few options. I wish we had a lot more of them, but at least you can say, what did I throw in there? Well, let me go see. Or I threw something in there and I don't know what it is. That's my favorite game to play. I threw that in there and I'm not sure what it was. Let me go check to see if it was anything I actually need, or if it can just sit there. But that said, I am really, really close to just nuking the vault. Just nuking all of it.
Yeah.
I'm going, there's so many things, like, again, I went back, I don't know, I think before the Act Sim whatever started, and like just tagged a bunch of things that I had 0 kills on, like that I have never used. I've never fired this weapon once. It just sits in the vault, and that's the majority of them. And I'm sitting going, I'm at 494 of 700. Like I went and I've just been doing purges left and right, going, you don't have a thumbs up on you. I don't really care what you are. I've never used you. If I need one, I can probably go find one that's good enough for whatever need I may have in this game. And the armor you're all going to take away from me anyway.
Yeah.
And give me a new 3.0 version. So like, unless the armor is in an active loadout, of which I use 2, maybe 3, I'm like, why am I holding on to this? I should just nuke it. And then I can start fresh. I can be like a nice new day 1 Guardian. Obviously, all the exotics I can still pull. There's a bunch of stuff I can still pull from collection should I, quote, need them. But there's so much of this, it just sits there, and I'm going, I never use it. I never look at it. I'm never going to find a place where this is what I need. And if I do, I probably have something that's second or third best that will do just fine. Now, I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I'm getting closer every day when I look at the vault going, I don't want to deal with this. I could just not.
Yeah.
I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but damn, Bungie, I'm getting close.
Well, that was my problem, looking at these weapons, that most of them have got like thumbs up next to them. And I'm like, I can't.
But do they though?
Somebody's put a thumbs up. I think they do it just to troll me. I go, how many of these weapons do I actually need? No, I don't need all those weapons. Why do I need all those weapons?
Yeah, why do I mean, some things are like, like, oh, this is a sniper rifle. I think I have 2 sniper rifles in the vault, maybe. One has ridiculous aim assist that I used the last time we needed to have some sort of PvP sniper rifle quest. And everything else, I'm like, if it's a sniper rifle, it gets deleted. We're not looking, we're not seeing what's on it, we're deleting it, because there's just no reason. There's a number of things. There's a lot of the hand cannons where I'm like, I have the 1 or 2 hand cannons I need. All the rest of them just get deleted. Like, there's a bunch of weapon types I'm going, I just don't care about this. I'm never going to use this willingly. Let's just delete it without looking at it, because I just don't need to.
See, with that, I mean, I've got 23 snipers, and I probably use one once a year.
But you have them just in case.
I do have, like, I have an Eye of Soul from Trials of Osiris that's got snapshot sights and moving target.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got like God roll ones that say that they've, snapshots and quick draw, and I'm like, I could use that if I start practicing.
Right. I could use that if I devote myself to this particular weapon.
Devote myself to the sniper. Yes.
You could jump into Trials this weekend and get the new Trial Sniper that's
I don't need to.
And has rolls on it, and it'll do things for you.
I don't need to. They gave me one this week. They went, you know what? You like playing Trials now. You get one. Actually, I think I got one last week.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay. But, just the regular one. I didn't get an Adept one, because the Adept one is obviously this weekend. But as I messaged you in the chat, the Lighthouse is real respawn. I went there and they went, you know what? You need at least 3 of these Adept Aisha's Cares. And I was like, yes, I do. I need them. I did delete one of them though, but I kept 2.
You get any good rolls?
I don't know, actually, to be honest. It went into the vault after I'd done my purging.
Did they have actually different rolls? Because that's the problem I'm running into with some of these like multi-weapon drops. It's like, well, yeah, there's multi-weapon drops, but like, the 2 perks that I care about are the same perks. So yeah, maybe the barrel's different or something, but the 2 perks I'm
you think weight gate is still happening to you, or in general?
I don't think it's weight gate. I think it's just bad randomization of you're getting 2 of these that both have field prep and whatever on them. But the other 2 perks are different. Slot 1 and 2 are different, but slot 3 and 4 are the same.
Well, slot 3 and 4 is where we were having the problems, though, right? Am I tripping? That's where we were having the problems with slot 3 and 4, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I also think there's just still issues in the game of just getting multiples of things all at once. Just doesn't know what to do with itself. Like that again, and maybe it's a different bug, but that's just been the case forever. I feel like. Oh, go and turn a bunch of engrams. You're getting mostly the same thing unless you leave and like come back and do a different batch of them.
Yeah. Well, I did get I did keep the other Aisha Scare, so I have got 3 adepts. So I've got a I'm working with them. They're a work in progress of I will take you into Crucible, I will use you, and if I like you, you're staying. If you do me dirty, you're going. That's it. So I did get one that had Flared Magwell, Encore, and Desperado or Collective Action, which was doing all right. I then had one that had High Caliber Rounds with To the Pain and Golden Tricorn.
Oh,
with
that's
Collective
a good
Action.
PvP one.
Yeah. And then I also now got the other one, which was Flared Magwell, again, Encore, and either Hatchling or Collective Action. So Collective Action seemed to be the one that went, would just put that on all 3. But
yeah, that was the perk of the day.
No, that was the perk of the day.
I would really like a dim plugin of Respawn where when I choose a weapon, it just goes, ooh, or and just let me sort things that way, because that would be a way easier way to do this.
For weapons I know anything about anyway.
But Trials was amazing. And I don't know whether it was just because of the time I played, but I was able to go from having nothing on just before the Tuesday reset. So I started playing Tuesday morning for me up until they turned the servers off, I think about 3:00. So I think I logged in around 10 o'clock in the morning and played Trials, and I was able to get my 7 wins and go to the Lighthouse. Nice. And I felt like 90% of those matches were hard fought. They were very good, like 4-5, 5-4. It was really good fun, and it was down to a test of skill, who you were paired up with, and very rarely was it a complete walkover.
Yeah,
and it gave me a new sense of purpose to play the game, because I know we had the rings before, and I had the chance, and I did go to the Lighthouse with doing those rings where people who had already gone flawless were taken out of that pool. So I was in the pool of I've not gone flawless, so I'm with other people that were just fighting their way to it, and that seemed to be a good system. And when they brought in the cards that were get you 7 wins and you get the adept weapon, and I was like, but you still having to fight against other Trials gods to get those 7 wins, and if you got a win and then a loss, you got knocked back down. And it was like, that seemed to be like I needed to pick up the card on the Friday night and then just fight my way through to the reset on Tuesday to get those 7 wins. And I did that a couple of times, and they were really hard fought. They were like, I was going up against Trials gods, we were getting completely wiped, and those were some of the hardest ones that I had to do to just get an adept weapon. Now just playing the game and fighting and getting to 7 wins is so doable. And I even started again this week at reset with playing Trials again. I think I played 3 games, the first game that we won, and then it was a hard fought battle for the other 2 games. But it's I love it. It was good fun. And also with doing the Trials thing on the Tuesday just before reset, when I logged in, I played my first game of Trials, and everybody was using that Redrix, whatever it is, the Redrix Estoc, and I hadn't got one, and I was like, I really like that. That's doing me dirty, but I need to go and get one. So I was like, I stopped after my first game of Trials, went and played my 7 placement matches in comp, got a weapon, and then just went, I'm going to use this and I'm going to take it back into Trials. So I literally done that as well. So I did my 7 placements and I played Trials all in like about 5 or 6 hours. And I got to see the Lighthouse. I was like overjoyed. And now I like playing comp to see what Redrix Estocs that I can get to see. And I've played it on all 3 characters this week and got another 3 drops. I do think that the original one that I got was probably the best one that I've got so far.
Which was?
That's nice.
Let me just find it for you.
Yeah, the one like the Repose auto rifle I have from comp, like I feel like was a decent roll. I feel like the one they give you is at least a decent, like it's not a god roll, but at least it's something decent to start out with. Because if they hand you, I feel like if they handed me one that was just absolute garbage, I go, yeah, do I want to do this again for more of these?
Yeah. So the first one that I got, I had Hammerforge Rifling with Flared Magwell, Lone Wolf, and sword logic. So the Lone Wolf improves aim assist, aim down, sight
Sword
speed,
logic does extra damage.
and airborne effectiveness increases the effects where there are no allies available. So that was quite useful in trials when my teammates went down. And sword logic was final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage for an improved duration, and the strength of the duration. The bonus increases with the more powerful the targets are defeated. So PvP, yeah, it works really well. So that was my first one I got, and it's got a range of 72 and stability of 94. And then one that I got this week, which I was using, was Hammer Forged with Flared Magwell, Encore, which is final blows grant a stacking stability, range, and accuracy bonus to this weapon. Precision final blows grant more stacks, and Desperate Measures. So weapon final blows grant bonus damage for an improved duration. Melee and grenade final blows grant a larger damage bonus than can be stacked. So yeah, I've got two that are quite cool. See, I think that first one that they gave me is the one they probably give out to everybody because it's just got like those set perks, whereas the ones I got after that had different stocks. But although now I remember saying that I think there was a bug, wasn't there? That they only came with one stock to start off with. But it could be because it's the first one that you get. But
yeah, I can't remember if that one's been fixed or not, or if they'll tell us this week if they've addressed it or not.
Survey says.
So you should go to trials. It's good fun.
Yeah, so Bungie has finally fixed PvP after all the PvP mains left many years ago. That's what you're telling me.
Well, no,
I think fixed is a strong word.
I think the fact that you can now just go in and losses aren't taken away from you is a big thing. You know, even just to get an adept weapon or get the trials gear. I think that's the biggest thing, is that you're not penalized for kind of playing and just banging your head against the wall, because you now get rewards for just playing. You get rewards for losing in the match. You get rewards for winning in the match. And the trials reputation was like, you know, it's based on how well you actually individually do, I think. I think it's one of those ones. So if you're actually doing quite well and your team isn't, you seem to get more kind of rewards, even if you do lose. So I think I'm up to rank 10 already, and I've played it for 5 or 6 hours. Like I said, it was like,
nice.
Yeah.
I know that's one thing, like they talk about feels like every week, every other week, about we're tweaking this, we're making this more understandable, we're changing this all around. Because that was, again, I mean, I haven't played a lot of comp in the last few seasons, but like, I mean, I would go in and play just because it felt better than some days than going into control than going into anything else. Like, because it actually felt like it was matching me up against people with my skill level, which is to say, not very much.
Yeah.
And but it felt like, you know, I felt like I was hitting like advancement ceilings that were like, I feel like I should have been be able to get further than where I was, or hitting people quickly who were much better than I was. So yeah, so if they fix, it's like they've said, like if they fix things so it just sort of feels better, where I'm advancing, like, you know, doing better or doing poorly, and some of that is my own gameplay, not just, you know, relying on my team to go wipe the map with everyone. That sounds good. That's one thing on my list to just, you know, get back into at some point, because I enjoy at least playing the placement matches and seeing how I can do when I'm not being run over.
Yeah.
And that feels like that's sort of how this is going, is there's enough people in trials playing, you know, just to go play it, and enough people in comp that are just going in and having fun with it, where it's not you walk in and you just get wiped immediately.
Yeah. Which
before just felt like that was just the constant situation.
And I was quite happy to see there was one point we were playing a comp match. I think it was yesterday, and our teammate left at the beginning of the match. I think he died like twice in a row, and then he was like, "Peace, I'm out of here." And it came up on the screen that our rank protection would be protected because somebody had left our team. But the two of us that were left slayed out, and we won. And we were like, "This is amazing."
Oh, that's
2 on 3. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Like, you know, people are coming in and playing, you know, flawless or bust, or if I don't win, I'm out of here. Or if my team doesn't seem good enough, and then you're stuck shorthanded, and then you're just screwed the rest of the match most of the time. So that's great that protect me from when people want to be jerks, and then it gives me the little extra bonus to go, well, I'm already protected. Let me see what I can do. Let me go try to win. Not that I wouldn't try to win anyway, but just a little extra motivation.
And I think I was doing quite well with my ranks in comp. Not that I'm trying to get higher. I think they keep putting me in like silvers, and I keep nudging closer and closer to gold every season, and then they then they restack it and they go, oh, we're going to do it this way. And I'm like, oh, you're still going to put me in the same place though. I think it only happened once in trials that somebody left, and there was 2 on 3, but that was trials. That was a completely different animal. And the other team saw, and they were like, no mercy. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
We're either going to use supers and heavy on you. We don't care.
We're going to make sure we secure this win.
Yeah, very quickly.
So no weekend of Demon to Ascendant?
No. No, there'll be no videos of that.
Let me start out with just the weapons I have and watch me go Ascendant. Yeah, Ascendant's something, but Ascendant Madman maybe.
Oh dear. So what else have you guys been doing? I've witted on about my trials and playing comp and things. I still haven't got my Barrow-Dyad. I abandoned that. I was like, I'll get that at some point. I want to play against people, and I'm enjoying this, and I'm enjoying comp, so I'll just do that. But what have you guys done?
I'm interested in Peroty doing the dungeon. I want to hear about that.
I did the most important thing this week, which was, of course, get my 14th reset on my Dregen title. Because that really is what this game is actually about for me. And finish the dungeon with Blue and Widespread Against Panicus this week. Blue had a checkpoint, so there was almost to the boss, so we sort of roamed our way through to the boss, and then used the build where I just stand there and punch things forever, and nothing bothers me, and finish the boss very quickly and easily. That, again, I have no desire to, and I will not be soloing any dungeons. But that's a dungeon where, I think I said last week, you could get bored with the lack of enemies. Just punching things to death, and you're going, okay, I've killed everything, now what? Oh, you're going and redoing things? Okay, well, let me know if I need to turn this, this disc on or off, or where you want me to place this lens. I'm just going to punch things and then hang out, because they see us and they go, no, we're not interested in going in there.
The problem is doing that. The problem is doing that while the things are hitting you and punching you. That is the trick.
You just kill all the things, and then your blue screen can go read where things need to go, and it makes his job very easy because nothing is bothering him because everything's dead.
But even when you kill the things, they have these stupid little bees that come out and kill you, or these fireballs. It's just there's a lot of retaliation type effects when you kill the enemies in this game that will nuke you, especially on the higher levels. It's not fun. No, I don't recommend playing the higher levels because you get nothing out of it except armor, which is going away. So don't do that unless you're chasing a title. But yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous. Sometimes, man.
And then you too can have a whole bunch of trace rifles and gauntlets and helmets that you're going to delete because the rolls are all terrible on the armor and the trace rifles are meh.
The trace rifles are awesome. You're just getting bad rolls. The scout rifles are amazing, though.
They're also just trace rifles, and I'm sorry, I'm never going to love a trace rifle. They're fine. Never going to love them. Yeah, finish the dungeon. I mean, it was. Did I what?
By the way, I said, but while we're on the subject, did you even get any of the weapons?
Trace rifles, 2 of them.
Oh, did you say that? And I missed it. My bad.
Yeah,
2 trace rifles, 2 gauntlets, and 1 helmet. Yeah, so I have the dumbest hat in the world, terrible gauntlets, and 2 trace rifles that exist.
Do you even know what rolls you got on them?
Probably
not.
Did I delete them?
Oh my god!
Question. No, I don't think I deleted them. But let's see. Again, they're just trace rifles. I've got loads of trace rifles. You think I need another trace rifle in my life?
These aren't just trace rifles. I don't get me wrong. Trace rifles in general are not great. I will agree with that. But these are different, and I actually think that these are good trace rifles. In all honesty, no fluff, no BS. I think these are actually good trace rifles. So,
Well, I've got some bad news for you. Those have been infused into things because I no longer have them. I see my helmet. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait, there's one. There's a subjugation, elemental honing, shoot to loot, enhanced battery, arrowhead break one. That one exists.
Okay, that one is not great. I'll give you that.
And the other one had also, I think, elemental honing on it, and I don't remember what the other perk was.
People think elemental honing is good, and it might be. I'm personally not a fan of it. I want all the exploding things on the trace rifle. Give me all the explosions all the time, forever, and I'm happy.
Yeah, so I'm sure there are weapons I could get out of there, but the ones I got were not it. Yeah, but it's I don't know, like just felt like the low keyest of dungeons. Like run around, grab some discs, put them in places. I now would have really enjoyed watching the day one of that. People roaming through rooms, like when you getting to the door, you have to shoot in order for it to open.
That one's so bad.
Watching people play with. I would have loved watching people trying to figure out, how do I open this door? Why? What's the mechanic? What do I do? Just shoot the door a bunch of times. Just shoot a bunch of times and it opens. Then run through real quick.
Yeah. The thing about it is the weapon that you shoot it with also has an effect on how it opens, how long it opens, the quickness at which it closes and crushes you. Found out 720 RPM auto rifles is not the gun to shoot the door with. It's not. You die a lot when you use 720 auto rifles to open that damn door.
Yeah. Hung jury, kinetic trimmers, firefly.
Yep, no, that's a good one.
Never got crushed. I think I died, I don't know, 3 or 4 times in the dungeon overall between the two different runs over, the one run over the 2 days, and mostly that was my own stupidity. Going, and I can totally punch this whole room of things, and then not having a melee available.
Right.
But that stupid build with the insurmountable skull fort is just ridiculous. Just punching things, getting your health back, and then raining down lightning. I barely needed to shoot my weapon. Like I brought weapons, but they weren't even that important. Just punch things, throw grenades, rain down lightning, repeat. It was beautiful.
And you came in just before the boss, you said? So you didn't have to do the eyeball encounter at all? Or the streaker?
Did that earlier in the week. Or right before reset last week. So, I mean, I basically, we played up to the final boss, got to the final boss, and then ran out of time to finish it, and then finished just the final boss this week off a checkpoint. Gotcha. So I played the full dungeon in, 2 sittings.
Fair enough. And you still just very meh about the whole thing, huh?
It's fine. I don't know. The dungeons are fine. I don't know what it's not the dungeon's fault. The fault is my own. I don't know. They're fine. I just have never really enjoyed any of the dungeons. I don't know. They're fine. I don't have much to say about them. And again, I don't think it's the fault of the dungeon or the fact that they're not fun. I think it's just that my enjoyment of them is waxes and wanes. Yeah, greatly.
That's fair. I mean, I like it because of the lore aspect, and if you know the lore, you can skip mechanics and things, and that's kind of fun. But it is what it is. Your what do you call it? Your whatever may vary. Your experience may vary.
Yep, your mileage may vary.
Mileage, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, there were a lot of times when we were reading lore, going, I think that's right. That sounds right. Let's go find a bat to shoot just in case that's not right. Oh, we were wrong.
Does the Traveler give light? Does the Traveler give guardians?
Do Ninja Turtles eat pizza?
Oh, hell yeah, they do.
Yeah. But I mean, if you have not yet done a dungeon and you don't have Noble to run you through the Shattered Throne in 4 seconds, start with this one and, put this ridiculous build on or something to help you stay alive. Because I literally, there were whole rooms where we were just because basically Blue Pan and I ran through this, and Blue had seen it and done it, knew what he's doing. Neither Pan and I had a clue, hadn't watched anything, knew nothing about it going in, other than obviously what we had heard and what we had talked about, the lore aspects and whatever. There were so many rooms where, and we were, we are not a max light. I think, we were, had a couple of couple of pieces up higher than 2010, but like we were not maxed out or anything. It was such a chill dungeon. Like if anything, this should be Baby's first dungeon, because it was just, you kill things in the room and then you've got time to think and look at discs and lenses, and some of the rooms and the encounters, if you stand in them, the enemies won't respawn on you, so you can actually figure out what you're doing. Seeing what they talked about in the developer reveal, I can see how this was sort of leading to that. Of just giving you a dungeon you can learn and figure out the mechanic, and then go back in and, do well on, or make your solo run, or just run multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the easier ones, for sure. I think, yeah. But again, the experience is fine. The weapons are better. What about the seasonal activity? You do a lot of that. I've been doing a lot of the seasonal activity solo on the hardest mode to get its adept weapons. Still haven't seen the fabled adept masterworked. I saw a friend of mine get one when we were doing it together, but so far I haven't seen any. I did a lot of the solo runs. Turns out it's really easy with a lot of the builds. The hunter, obviously, I main the hunter, so I have done it many, many, many times on the hunter. But when I was using both my Titan and my Warlock, yes, I played them to get pinnacles. On those two characters, it is kind of child's play. The Titan, you stand behind a barricade, way far away from most of the bosses, and you just plate things with the Monarch, right? Or a machine gun that's got Rolling Thunder on it, and just health bars disappear. With the Warlock build that I was using, I was getting my Kamehameha every 10 seconds ish, give or take. I mean, it was very rapidly I was getting them, So I mean, it did trivialize the whole experience. Even on the hardest mode, those two classes just made the whole thing easy. Just because of their mechanics and how they're built this season, and Arc being the way Arc is this season. Because unfortunately, my Hunter is melee range Arc, and I do fine. I have up to 90% resistance a lot of the time, but when you can't heal even the minuscule damage that you take, it is problematic over time.
Healing's important.
A smidge, just a bit.
Yeah. I did ask Blue Screen for the build, because basically we get on and build, and Blue was like, "Look at my Titan, put this build on. This is what we're running the dungeon with," and he was not wrong. And so it's a Mactix build, and we may have talked about it, I can't remember now, week to week which build we talked about, but I made sure to get the link from him to say, I know you were like, put this on, but where did this come from, so I can give proper credit, because it is ridiculous, and it is literally throw on Skull Fort, punch things, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, I've definitely called out Mactix quite a bit. Mactix and Plunder the Booty are staples.
Sure. Like build, and it's like build minimally into punching, and it's literally you get any kill and you have your thunderclap back, and then you thunderclap again, and you throw your barricade down and you continue to thunderclap, and you can just do that forever and heal every time. Like it's just it makes it just trivial. And then use your favorite weapon and nuke bosses. Stare at the stupid shriekers and go, I know you say I'm doing crit damage, but I know I'm not really doing crit damage. You're lying to me.
That's why the barricade and Monarch is key, because you just melt them with the poison and the lightning bolts. Yep. And they just die.
Did the dungeon, got my Dregen, and it was kind of like I did now have finally gone into the Blight to start the mission for the Barrow-Dyad. I haven't done anything else yet, but I finally remembered to look for one of those Blights at some point and at least go in there and start it.
Yeah.
To then say, I should probably at least think about getting this weapon at some point.
Yeah, this is one of those things that I was thinking. I was like, I need to think about getting it because there's more stuff coming for it. So, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't I go and get said stuff?
Still waiting for it to be good though. Right now, it's meh. It's kind of okay. Okay, being a very strong usage of that word. I'm sure it could be better. Question mark.
Yeah, and that's the other reason I'm not rushing out to get it. I was like, I watched the day one reviews. Oh, I went out and got this one, yeah, it's mid. It's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. So I should not rush out to get this because it's fine. I've got plenty of it's fine. If you told me, oh my god, this is amazing, go get it. This will change everything. It pairs perfectly with the blah 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 of the season. Yeah, I'd run out and get it. But if you're like, yeah, it's an exotic, all right. It goes with the other exotics that you've never used. Yeah, I'll get around to it. And I know it's a weapon that'll get better when they finish giving us all the exotic bits for it, but yeah, we'll get that.
But even the exotic bits, it even then, like, I mean, yeah, it's got the seeking rounds, the seeking blights and whatnot, right? But with a name like Dryad, I was thinking like the Dryad spider, right? And it's Barrow, but I was thinking Barrow-Dyad. So in my mind, there was like spider webs and this and that. I was thinking, wow, it's a strand weapon that maybe whenever it like gets kills, it can like suspend enemies or something. That would have been a really cool perk to have on the exotic. Upon kill, you suspend nearby enemies. That would have been an excellent perk, and that would have made it probably top tier. But as of right now, its Blight Seekers do less damage than the bullets, maybe? I mean, they don't feel like they do much at all. It does trigger the what is it, the one for all perk, where if you hit 3 enemies, you get a damage buff, or all for one of those. I forgot the damn name. But yeah, I mean that does make it stronger. But even then, it's so mid for being such a cool looking exotic. It's not living up to its looks, dude.
No, but I think there are tiers of exotic weapons. There are exotic weapons that are just kind of look cool to use, or people use just for funsies. Then there are the exotic weapons that are outstanding in their field to use as well. So, and they do shift around. You'll find a weapon that isn't doing really well, then does really well over here, or vice versa.
But I mean, when you think of submachine guns that you would use in an exotic slot, you think of the wrist runner, right? That's usually the first one that comes to people's mind. And the secondary one is probably the Weapon of Sorrow submachine gun, the
Osiris.
That one, yep.
But totally different uses. One you'd use in PvE, and the other one you'd PvP. Majority.
I mean, they both. I mean, the poison one has uses in both, right? You can use it in PvP or PvE, right? And what was the first one that I said? The wrist runner is definitely a PvE weapon for sure, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they're both good. They're both very good. And the thing about it is like we don't have very many like top tier submachine gun exotics. You have the Huckleberry, which next season's probably going to be amazingly good.
I've tried using the Huckleberry. I can't seem to get to grips with it in PvP, even though it should be a beast. I think it's still got way too less ammo that you need.
Oh, for sure.
Or the range on it needs to be improved. Range, stability, something needs to be improved on that weapon.
But in Armor 3.0, if the armor set for the Tex Mechana affects that gun, it should be top tier when that comes out, right? But other than that, we don't have like submachine guns that people often and regularly just stick in an exotic slot, because your exotic slots are very important. You don't want to just stick anything in there. And normally people, at least not the circles that I run, and think, oh wow, I have an exotic slot, let me put a submachine gun in it. This is going to end really well, unless it's the risk runner in like a Nightfall or something. It's just so, I mean, especially with this gun looking as amazing as it does, I really had high hopes for it, and then I was kind of disappointed. To be fair, it was my own doing. I expected more than what Bungie was willing to give, and you know,
I mean, SMGs are just not like, they're fine, but they're not the go-to weapon.
I know. It would be nice if we did have a go-to weapon that was an SMG.
Yeah, I was just saying, I've got plenty of go-to weapons. They're just not that.
That was an SMG, yeah. I mean, if you could bring back like oh god, what would the Master of Arms, the first weapon that came out that had Master of Arms, what was it? That legendary submachine gun. Real big deal for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. They're just gonna leave me hanging. Whatever.
Yep.
All right, so that submachine gun, if they brought that back in its original form, with no nerfs, none of the Master of Arm twerks that they've done since then, no nerfs, no anything like that. Yeah. Just in its original form as an exotic, I would totally use that. You know?
Would you though?
I would, because it was a fun.
I think he has always said that, yeah. And it's the recluse that you're thinking
The
about.
recluse, yeah. If they brought back the recluse in its original form, but made it an exotic, it would be really good. Because then it would make sense. Instead of a legendary being that incredibly powerful, well, now it's an exotic. And it makes more sense, you know? And it's still not overpowered as an exotic, but it's still very, very good as, you know, a submachine gun it to make into an exotic, in my opinion, right? So, I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. Anyway, so there's no weapons for Moments of Triumph, huh? Just stuff.
Just stuff.
Just
Stuff to show off that you've done amazing over the last year.
Yeah, but
the weapons
it's
are what
not
you
things
use to
that you've
earn the
done over
moments.
the last year. It's things that you have to do again.
Yeah, this time with feeling. You didn't do it with enough feeling last time.
Oh. No, this time I wouldn't be doing it with enough feeling to have to redo things I've already done. That's where it takes away the emotion. You know, it's like, wait, I have to go back and do all these raids I've already done so many times again for why exactly?
Because you don't have the
I mean,
exotic yet.
I've done the work. Give me the credit. I've worked the overtime. Pay the man.
Yeah, that's. I used to be really excited about the Moments of Triumph, and now I'm less and less excited every year where it's like, hey, go do this again. I'm like, yeah, I didn't do it the first time, and guess what? This is not going to give me a reason to go do it.
Yeah. Is
Sorry,
there a
guys.
weapon tied to it? No? Oh, well, sorry, bud.
Go play a raid. Yeah, I haven't done the raid yet. This is not going to be the day that I'm going to go, oh, I'm going to get the Moments of Triumph for this raid. No, I can still continue just not to care.
I was talking to somebody I was playing Monster Hunter with. I forgot who it was, but also plays Destiny. And I was like, I'm surprised you're not playing Moments of Triumph. He goes, why? I'm like, well, I mean, aren't there weapons? Because I completely forgot that it doesn't give you weapons. And he goes, no. He goes, you have to go back and do things that you'd already done. I'm like, yeah, but like, don't you get something for him? He goes, yeah. You potentially get the weapon from the raid and or dungeon that you've already done that you may or may not have. I'm like, ew. That's encouraging.
Yeah, you go get the thing that you may already have, may not already have. Hard to say.
It is lucky that none of it's like strictly RNG based. Like, oh, get the exotic from such and such raid or dungeon. Like,
Right.
because remember how they used to have some things that were RNG related? Remember that, like years ago? I'm glad they took that kind
like
of
the
stuff away.
exotics that are RNG based.
Yeah. Like the thing I literally just said. Yeah. Sorry.
I remember.
Just checking because I'm sure. Yeah, it's still RNG based. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, I think we all know I have brain damage, and I had a mental health appointment yesterday that once again verified. Yeah, you apparently have memory loss issues. I'm like, gee, you think? I'm aware, very acutely aware.
So, have you scheduled the Exo Body implant or no?
Oh my god! If I could, I would. My wife thinks I'm weird that I would actually voluntarily put my mind in like an exo frame or even a cybernetic implant, or God forbid if we could upload our minds to like a server, which me and Peroty know are very unreliable.
What could possibly go wrong? Listen, I read Ready Player 1 and 2. Nothing can go wrong. Right? Everything will be fine. I don't know what you're concerned about.
Oh, there's a Ready Player 2? I have Ready Player 1. I didn't know there was a Ready Player 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And hopefully Spielberg makes it into another film.
Anyway, so
yeah, that's Destiny this week. So I guess it's over to Monster Hunter Wilds then.
Nah.
Yeah. No, exactly, it's not, because there's more Destiny. There's always more Destiny, as I like to tell my wife, and she goes, "Oh,
and
what are you talking about every week?" I was like, "There's stuff every week. Even at Christmas when they're having a break, there's still stuff that they do." And
whereas my wife just goes, "I can't believe you've been playing this game for that long, and it's held your attention." You go, "Yeah, because there's something else to do." Yeah. Or I can do the same thing for the 4 millionth time because I'm a creature of habit.
True. So, it's time to talk about that elephant in the room.
I'm an elephant!
No, you're not. Not this time. You're not the elephant this time. You were.
Not this elephant.
Yeah, different elephant. Pink elephants.
An elephant never forgets.
Are we on LSD?
No.
Or why are we talking about pink elephants?
Not we are. Maybe you we, but not we.
Mm.
You got to use the bathroom parody? I'm sorry! Continue.
No, you're not.
I'm not, but continue.
So this week we had the developer live stream for Act 2 / possibly Act 3 stuff. Because maybe they won't tell us about that. Or they do. And they did. And they told us lots of stuff. And as I said at the beginning of the show, I then got completely like, oh no, I need to clean my vault out because there's so much good stuff coming and I need to get all that good stuff.
Here's all the things we're going to give you. Where are you going to put it? Don't know.
Aside from the Void sidearm, the Void special weapon sidearm, I didn't see a whole lot that I'm really looking forward to. They have a glaive. It's a glaive. No, I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry.
You are.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we have a new activity called the Court of Blades, which is nowhere near what Court of Oryx was like. This is completely different. This takes you to that area and then mixes it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because that area it was a small area to fight in, admittedly, when we had that in Destiny 1. Now we're just transported to other places. If you want to ever gone to a Hive warship, you can go to a Hive warship. If the game lets you, obviously. If you want to go back to IO, the game will take you back to IO. If you want to go and visit Europa again, you could do that without the Court of Blades, but you can also do that in the Court of Blades. So you can have so much fun options.
I want to fight the Leviathan on Titan.
And it's only a short game mode. It's only about 10 minutes long. You don't have to spend half an hour to an hour doing stuff. And you get loot from it very quickly. And there's going to be buffs, and there's going to be debuffs, very much like we've had with the Nether. They called them, what did they call them? They've called them...
Buffs and debuffs?
No, they didn't. They called them augments or augmentations, and there will be armaments, which also will be available. So the augments are going to be from the statues in the Court of Oryx or the Court of Blades that give you different kind of variations of how you're going to run the activity. And then the armaments are from the statues just outside that line up the Court of Blades or the Court of Oryx, is what I got from the live stream. I mean, I could be wrong, but it looked like that because you've got about 4 or 5 statues lining as you go down to the Court of Oryx, which aren't active when they started the live stream, but once they completed one area and came back, they were then able to access these augments. And they did say that these augments the armaments, and they did say that the armaments will rotate on a daily basis. So, and you can combine them. You can purchase them and combine them between phases, allowing you to combat the augmented challenges, which will also probably be random and varied, and they will also stack as well. So it looks a lot of fun, and being able to play on normal or expert, and the expert versions do give you the adept versions of the Act 2 weapons.
Cool.
And that's the only place you'll be able to get it is in the expert version. But they will come with double perks. They will come glowing. They will look all
They
shiny.
will come or can come?
Will come.
Will for some people.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they will. Will they come for you? Well, that's another sentence entirely. But, the possibility exists.
Yeah.
So they're RNG. They don't just come like the Adept is not just always going to have the double drops and the stuff. You can.
No. The Adepts ones will have double perks. That's why they did say that.
Okay.
That's what they said. It'd be shiny.
Okay.
And they did say that if you get kills with the weapons, they start to glow on the side, which look really cool. And yeah.
Everyone else can look at your shiny weapon that you murdered everybody with.
So did you guys actually watch this?
No.
I did.
Actually, Peroty, did you watch this? I know you did.
I did, because I wanted them to tell me things, and I wanted to know if the things were worth being told. And yeah.
Were they worth it?
Well, there was I mean, like the Court of Blades I'm interested in, and honestly I like that it's a short thing. I like that it's you can dip in and play a bunch of these and not you can embark on, because that's what I love about, like, I would play more Onslaught if it weren't like you're going to need to sit down and play for an hour if you want to get, the good stuff out of this.
Don't say that, because you can still play 10 minutes of it if you want to play the...
Yeah, but
I know what you mean, yeah.
But I said the good things. I can get some things, but I want the good things. If I'm playing a thing, I want the good things out of it. So I like that this is, hopefully sit down, nail some of these out, finish these off, get some of these weapons out of here, and then go do something else, or go pop into other things, or just, hey, I've got 20 minutes in the morning to play before work. Let me go do this, because this is here and easy to get to, and I'll feel rewarded from it, which makes me happy. I'm, it's interesting. There's, so leading sort of the roguelike road-light experience of, like, you'll have the different modifiers and stuff going on and off, which we'll see what they are. Will it be anything interesting? Probably. It'll be at least a more of a challenge. But yeah, I mean, anything that's, we asked Bungie for horde modes, and now we have a whole bunch of horde modes, and that makes me happy. I just want to murder things with my cool weapons that I've gotten.
The cool weapons you won't go into the dungeon to get.
Because I already have those cool weapons.
You don't! Son of a...
I do. I have 400 plus items in my vault of cool weapons. I don't need those cool weapons.
Show me the scout rifle that's got 2 elements on it. And I'll shut up.
Firefly and kinetic tremors, like I said. That's the one I need.
Kinetic is not an element.
It is when it goes and it does more damage.
Not an element. It is a lack of an element.
White and black are the lack, or presence of all colors. They're still colors.
Kinetic is the lack of an element.
Well, give me arc tremors, give me some void tremors, and then we'll talk.
It does. It comes with Bolt Shot and Firefly. Yes.
So why is that better than kinetic tremors? Like I'm not just trying to push your buttons. Like literally, like why are those two things better than having one of them being kinetic, which does 20% additional damage for being kinetic? The
range is bigger, first of all. Second of all, you can trigger it upon a reload. You also have 2 different AoEs, right? Whereas kinetic, you have the one AoE, and it's it is elementless. Whereas this one, you have elements. Right, you have arc and solar, which is good in a lot of activities, especially the ones where shields have to be broken by, certain element types. Now you have 2 options on one weapon. And they're both AoE, and especially in this particular season with arc is incredibly strong. So having Volt Shot on a scout rifle that also has an AoE solar option is also incredibly strong. I don't know how you don't see this. There are so many good things about it. Are kinetic tremors good? Yes, but you get kinetic tremors a dime a dozen on a bunch of different weapons. You don't have any weapons that can give you solar and arc, and both of those being an AoE. Either one of those is show me another weapon where both of your perks is an AoE perk. Show me another weapon where both of your perks are 2 different elemental types. And then show me a weapon where both of those things I just mentioned are the same weapon.
I can show you the 2 AoEs because it's the ones I have with the Firefly and the kinetic tremors. Okay, they're not 2 different elements, but they're 2 different AoEs. And I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying I don't feel like it's that much better than what I'm
also it's in an energy slot too, right? So you have an option to put something in an energy slot as opposed to always having something in a kinetic slot too. So it's also a different slot for you too. If you want to use something in that slot in particular, maybe there's an exotic you want and you want to put something else and you want to have a good weapon in your energy slot where you can have that as an option now. Because you can't always have kinetic tremors in that slot if there's an exotic or a different weapon you need to have there for some reason. Who knows, right? Maybe you want to have the Osteo-Striga in there for like a Titan build or some shenanigans. Who knows, right? You have a good secondary option. It's just there's no reason not to have it unless you just don't want to do the dungeon. And like you just said, the dungeon is kind of easy mode, so there's really not a reason for you to not do the dungeon and just get the rolls. And you can focus the weapons. The focusing process is a bit tedious, but Astacross does a guide that kind of streamlines it for you. That guide also has you. Well, the guide doesn't have you do it. Bungie makes you have to complete the dungeon a couple of times during the process to unlock the ability to focus weapons specifically. But once it's done, you do have a guaranteed shot to get the weapon you were looking for at the end of the dungeon instead of just a chance. You know? So it's like a raid where you can like buy the weapon at the end, except you don't have to buy it. You just in one of the rooms you're already going to be in, you just shoot something on a wall, and now at the end of the dungeon, you get a chance at the weapon or armor that you wanted to have a chance at for free.
That's a lot of words to get a weapon that I basically already have.
Oh my.
I'm just saying, that sounds like a lot of work.
You don't basically already have it. There's so many differences between your kinetic versions and this, dude. Yes, I understand. In your mind, it is the same. I totally get that, right? But this is
the same picture.
It's not the same.
It's the same picture.
Whatever, I give up.
Yeah, I'm not.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't shoot it and send it to a glue factory.
Yeah, I mean that just sounds like a lot of work to get back to basically what I have, and again, part of this is just my own hang up right now with the game. I'm going, yeah, I could go do all this, but is the thing I'm going to get that much better than what I have?
It actually
to justify
is.
all of this work.
And then you pair it with the weapon's intrinsic perk, which its perk by itself is exotic tier perk, dude. You know? I mean, that's the kind of perk you would see on an exotic weapon, and it comes on every weapon from this dungeon. And you pair that with all the things that I've already told you, you know? To weaken a boss, you know, just because you're shooting it with that gun. Just cause, you know? Shooting a stronger monster, a boss, a yellow bar, a major, whatever, weakens them just because you have that gun on. Forget the double perks, forget all the other stuff that we talked about. Just shooting them weakens them. By default, no matter what perks you have on that gun. Right? And then you have all the extra stuff that goes with it. Red bars, you shoot them and they also explode. So even without getting any of these AoE perks that I mentioned, you get freaking explosive payload. Not explosive. Yeah, explosive payload by default. Just by shooting them, they explode. And I said kill red bars, but I think if you just shoot them, they explode too. I think it does act like explosive payload. And you get both of those on the gun at all times, including the perks that it rolls with. You essentially get 3 damaging perks and 1 debuff perk on one gun. That's kind of nutty, man. I don't know why I just shot that guy with the thing I need to open the door with. Because I'm arguing with Peroty. I'm flustered. Damn it. I'm supposed to use this thing to open the door, and I shot a wizard with it.
You can't open the door now, can you?
I cannot.
Maybe if you had one of your magical dungeon weapons, you could, though.
Do I have? No, I don't have one.
Or if he had one of the weapons from the new Act 2 weapon set.
Which is what I need right now, because I need the sidearm, because it's a shield popper, and I had to swap off my dungeon weapon, which I did have on, by the way, Peroty, to put on something that pops shields.
Why would you ever take it off? You just told me it pops all the shields.
Not anti-barrier. That shield is what I meant.
So we're getting 5 new weapons for Act 2 for the Act 2 weapons. I'm not counting anything else that we're going to be talking about later. But Division is the sidearm, and it's a heavy burst, so it fires a hard-hitting 2-round burst. We have, if you can get the Adept version, you get the 2 origin traits. So you get Willing Vessel, which is dealing damage or defeating targets. With this weapon, gradually increases stability, handling, reload speed, and charge rate. Or you can have Runneth Over, reloading near allies, overflows the magazine, bows receive faster draw time, and swords receive faster charge rate. So if you get the Adept version, you get both of those on there. But in columns 3, you can have Perfect Float, Eddy Current, Hipfire Grip, To the Pain, Pugilist, Grave Robber, and Encore. And you compare that with Volt Shot, Kill Clip, Sword Logic, Swashbuckler, Offhand Strike, Eye of the Storm, or Surrounded. So are any of those looking tasty to you? Is there a Volt Shot one that you think maybe you want to use, or Grave Robber, with something up close and personal?
Grave Robber, definitely a glaive. Bolt shot on a glaive.
No, not
I
talking
think
about
it's
glaives.
gimmicky.
Not talking about glaives. Talking
Oh.
about the sidearm. You spoke about sidearm.
Oh, the sidearm.
Sidearm.
Yes, Volt shot. Yes. Volt shot is always good on any gun that's not a glaive or a sword. And then what was the other thing that you said? Grave Robber is also very good for reloading. But just so that y'all know, so there's no confusion, Grave Robber does not activate Volt shot. So don't get that confused. But yeah, independently, those are both good perks. Together, not so much. What else did it have in the non-Volt shot slot?
In the non-Volt shot is Perfect Float, Eddy Current, Hipfire Grip, To the Pain, Pugilist, Grave Robber, and Encore.
Maybe Grave Robber is the best option in that case. Really no.
Yes, maybe something like, I mean, if you're going to be up close and personal, maybe something like Grave Robber and Swashbuckler. So if you go in with a melee, or you're going in with that and then hit a melee to reload your weapon and get extra damage and things like that. So they're quite good. I do like those kind of perks on sidearms and submachine guns when I'm up close and personal. Sometimes they don't come off the winner because they've got a shotgun and they automatically win.
Or they have a stomp mechanic and they automatically win.
I'm talking PvP, but yeah, you wouldn't use
PvP.
you wouldn't use the sidearm against a boss, would you really? Unless it's one of those rocket ones, which this is not.
Even then, meh. But but the thing about it is Volt shot on a gun. It is really hard to pass up because Volt shot is good on basically any gun that doesn't have like an incredibly slow reload speed. You know, so that is incredibly hard to pass up. The wombo combo that you mentioned also very good if you can't get Volt shot, but I mean, personal opinion here, unless Volt shot gets nerfed in some kind of a way, you kind of want that on any weapon that you can get. That's not, like I said, a glaive or like a freaking machine gun, which again, Volt shot in heal clip on machine guns is so ridiculous, man. By the time you reload the gun, the timer for you to reload the weapon has already expired. Whatever. I'm being facetious. It might not expire, but still, that's crazy. Either way, I mean, it's alright. What's the next weapon?
Oh, well, the next weapon, we'll work backwards from what I've got on my tabs open. We have Afterlight, which is the fusion rifle. And with this one, it's a void adaptive frame. And you can have in columns 3, Under Pressure, Grave Robber, Lead from Gold, Discord, Offhand Strike, Ambitious Assassin, and Pugilist. You can pair those with Reservoir Burst, Swashbuckler, Adagio, Cornered, Vorpal Weapon, Successful Warm-Up, and Destabilizing Rounds.
That combo sounds like a PvP gun.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. Like, I mean, Cornered,
Cornered, and then the first perk where it's at half the magazine capacity.
Under Pressure.
That one, yeah. Those two together is like a PvP roll, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can use Under Pressure. I have got a couple of ones with Under Pressure.
I mean, in PvP, you start under half of the magazine, so the first time you shoot somebody, you're going to get all the extra perks that it gives you, right?
Yeah.
And
maybe Successful Warm-Up? Maybe, baby.
That's after you swap real fast, right?
Successful Warm-Up?
Yeah, that's like right when you swap to that weapon, it readies faster and shoots faster.
No. Successful Warm-Up is each final blow increases charge or draw speed.
Oh. Okay, yeah, so like a follow-up kill would be a faster charge rate, I guess, yeah.
So let's move on to Respawn's favourite weapon, which will be the Amaranesius. I think I'm saying that right. I listened over and over again to what she's called it. I think it's called Amaranesius, but I could be wrong. It's the bow. Yes, it is now. It's a void lightweight frame bow. And it will come with, in column 3, Archer's Tempo, Dragonfly, Successful Warm-Up, Hipfire Grip, Repulsor Brace, To the Pain, and Perfect Float, with Destabilizing Rounds, Demoralized, Adagio, Impulse Amplifier, Sword Logic, moving target, and explosive head. Now, I'm quite curious about this demoralized rounds because I saw a video this week. I think it was on TikTok, so I don't know who the creator was, but they were talking about this demoralized rounds, which will give you precision kills apply weaken to enemies. But it kind of gives. I think they were saying that I think it was on the hand cannon that was available in the Nightfall. Can't remember. Was that the palindrome this week?
Palindrome was last week. This week it's +1.
Oh yeah, I think they were talking about the palindrome for the previous week, and they were saying that they were getting kills with this, which will give weaken, but it was on, like you said, I think it was an arc weapon. It's been changed to, so it was giving the void weaken. I could be wrong.
That's awesome if true.
But I'm gonna now look it up because I'm talking about it, so I should look it up.
Is that what the exhausted perk is? Like, is that the arc version of
exhausted?
weaken?
Is a weaken? No,
it's not on the palindrome.
It,
it must have been on a void weapon. It wasn't on the palindrome then.
Also, exhausted is not arc specific.
Okay.
Exhausted
I couldn't remember what exhausted came from.
Exhausted is just a weapon perk that isn't tied to an element yet.
Yeah, they were using the demoralized rounds in this hand cannon, and I can't remember the name of it, so I do apologize. But it was giving them an extra buff in PvE to kind of just wipe out loads and loads of enemies. But I'm thinking maybe on a bow that might be quite nice, demoralized with maybe something like repulsor brace.
The problem
so when
with
you defeat the target,
is
you get
have
the
to
precision final
blows.
No.
I was thinking you have to aim down sight for a couple of seconds. Disregard. My bad.
So if you get the precision final blows, it applies weaken to the enemies within a certain area around that enemy. And repulsor brace, if you defeat the void debuff target, which will be next to them, that will give you overshield. So that might be a good one.
But aren't they in the same column?
No, they're opposite columns.
Oh, then that's what you want. Yeah, for sure.
Or to the pain might be quite good. So when you're taking damage, increase handling and aim assist. Maybe. Or for Dragonfly.
To the pain is really only a PvP thing. And you said this was a what frame?
This is a lightweight frame bow. Actually, Dragonfly might be really nice. Dragonfly with demoralized. So you get the precision final blows, apply the weaken to people around you, and then with the Dragonfly, precision kills create that elemental explosion. I could just see explosion after explosion after explosion. I think
but that is also based on kill. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
No,
if I were you, I would go demoralized, destabilizing. Because you have hold on,
demoralized and destabilizing are in the same thing. You want demoralized and repulsor.
Were you looking at the set so I can visually see instead of having to try to remember? Is this like
D2 Foundry?
D2
Foundry is where I've got all the tabs open.
Okay, what was the name of the
ANAMNESIS.
There it is. Okay.
This.
Alright, so
Anemone.
defeating a void debuff target gets an overshield. So it does come with repulsor destabilizing, so that's not bad. So demoralize weakens them, whereas destabilizing gives you volatile rounds, which causes an explosion upon death. So you can go destabilizing repulsor, which would give you would have destabilizing rounds, which would cause an AoE, and then you'd get an overshield upon kill. Or you can go demoralize, which would give you weaken the guy that's shooting you, so they do less damage to you, and when you kill them, you get an overshield on top of that. So because demoralize, it says precision kills weaken enemies, and it does show a void icon there. So yeah, that would go with repulsor brace too. Archer's Tempo, explosive head is a good roll. Archer's Tempo, sword logic. Archer's Tempo, Adagio? Because Adagio just gives you just a straight damage buff. And then Adagio would speed up. Archer's Tempo would speed up Adagio. So honestly, the Adagio wouldn't even affect the bow to a point. This does have some interesting rolls on it. To the Pain is PvP.
It does.
To the Pain with Adagio, you'd get a damage buff with Adagio, and then To the Pain would give you better aim assist. But it is a lightweight frame though, right? So how much damage could you really do with a bow in PvP? I'm sure there's people that could definitely do it.
Well, I thought you were the bow guy. I thought
not in PvP. Oh no!
Oh, not in PvP, but yeah. My mistake.
Yeah. Dragonfly destabilizing rounds. That way you'd have 2 AoE explosions. I mean, isn't that the one you said? That one's good too. Yeah. But Dragonfly would not give you. Keep in mind, guys. Not you guys, obviously, the people listening. Dragonfly and Firefly are 2 different perks. Dragonfly gives you an AoE explosion based on the weapon's element. That's why I think there's one weapon in the game that can get it on a kinetic. Forgot what weapon that is. It's an old weapon that I don't even think is used anymore. But other than that, the Dragonfly perk will just give you an explosion that's the same element type as your weapon. Whereas Firefly will give you a solar explosion. So, yeah. Dealing damage or defeating targets with this weapon gradually grants increased stability, handling, reload speed, and charge rate. Okay. But on a bow, I think all this does is make you notch an arrow faster, I believe, is the only thing that this would really do for the bow. I mean, stability in the handling. You don't really need stability on a bow. Handling, sure. Charge rate is ill-effective. So handling and reload speed, quote, reload speed, I guess. I mean, yeah, no, it is an interesting bow, for sure. I don't know. I'd have to see it in play. It definitely has some perks to it. Yeah, for sure. It does.
Now we're going to move on to the glaive. So this is your strand special weapon, which is an adaptive glaive. It's called Refusal of the Call. So in column 3, you have Impulse Amplifier, Slice, Tilting at Windmills, Envious Assassin, Replenishing Aegis, Discord, Auto-Loading Holster, and then in column 4, you've got Melee Momentum, Vorpal Weapon, Unstoppable Force, Sword Logic, Close to Melee, Disruption Break, and Beacon Rounds. Anything standing out to you guys from that?
Melee Momentum and Close to Melee are both very good perks on a glaive.
They did mention, I think they mentioned on the stream, Tilting at Windmills, so blocking damage with your shield increases movement speed while shielding. Unstoppable Force, blocking damage with your shield increases projectile damage for a short time.
Yeah, but they put those in the same column.
No, Tilting's on column 3. Unstoppable is in 4.
Oh, you said Unstoppable. I was thinking Replenishing. You did say Unstoppable. I'm sorry.
I did.
Beacon
Peroty, are you going to be using glaives, or is this nothing for you?
No.
Okay.
I've deleted so many Gambit glaives. They're glaives.
That is a really cool looking glaive, though.
Respawn will yell at me for not using glaives, but I just want them to be better.
I mean, glaives are good, but they are situational. You Titans have really good glaive builds right now. You can go triple glaive and be nearly invincible. So, you Titans are pretty lucky with your builds and glaives. So, I think you're missing an opportunity.
We are. But that opportunity won't come to us just yet, because we're going to move on to the next one, which is the submachine gun, which is the Mirror Imago. And again, it's a strand, but it's a primary one. It's an adaptive frame. It looks very similar to the one that you were talking about, the Recluse, earlier. So again, in column 3, we have Recycled Energy, which is reloading after defeating a target, grants energy to your lowest charge ability. Subsistence, Grave Robber, Pugilist, To the Pain, Moving Target, or Overflow. And you compare that with Hatchling, Target Lock, Swashbuckler, Sword Logic, Permeability, Offhand Strike, and Unrelenting.
Is this a primary weapon?
This is a primary weapon, and they've brought back Permeability. So using your class ability changes this weapon's damage type to match your equipped super until you stow the weapon. So it starts off as strand, but if you've got a different super equipped, you could change this to whatever you want it to be. That's interesting, because I don't think they've done that for quite a while. They used to do it on primary weapons that weren't an element. So if it was just a kinetic weapon, you could then use it, or use your class ability, change the element, and then it was good for kind of nightfalls and things. So this is quite interesting. They've got that on there. But again, they've got like the Grave Robber, Swashbuckler, or Pugilist Swashbuckler, Hatchling. It's a good PvE one, I guess. But I could probably see that this
didn't
might
they
be
revert
quite
the
good.
changes to target lock on submachine guns last episode? Because of remember how they nerfed target lock on submachine guns because of the
yes,
but they reverted it just before this new exotic submachine gun came up because it rolls with target lock. So they reverted the nerf on target lock on submachine guns, if my memory serves correct, which it rarely does, but I'm pretty confident that they did revert that nerf. So
they've done a couple of this wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, so we'll put it back.
I'm liking overflow on this, if I'm being honest with you. What's the magazine capacity? 36. So having a primary submachine gun with target lock and a 72 round magazine does not sound half bad.
And if you put a pended mag on there, you get an extra 4 bullets.
Oh, but target lock based on the magazine capacity. So you would have maybe sword logic in overflow? Final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage. Yeah, probably sword logic in overflow might be better because you'd get that damage buff for longer. Yeah,
that actually might work in PvP as well. Because where you have to pick up the special from the walls now.
Does that count?
I don't know. I'm thinking it could work. Because that would be really tasty if that is the thing. Because I've got 2 kind of primary weapons on me most of the time that I'm playing PvP. I very rarely, because I don't want to drop special, so I don't want to drop that shotgun player with some more special ammo. So I'm like, I'll just stick with like primary weapons. But if I can pick it up and it still doesn't give them any benefit, but it gives me a benefit, maybe.
What are some other 900 round? Because this magazine for a 900 RPM submachine gun, is that magazine capacity a little small? Or is that
as I said, the Recluse is a 900 RPM.
Right, I don't have any. Wait, yeah, I do. I'm lying. I'm an idiot.
You've got the Out of Bounds, which is also the Stochast variable, which is also one, the Funnel Web, and Death Adder, Mida Mini Tool. They're all 900 RPMs.
I'm just looking for.
There's probably some more, but there's not that many more in my vault. So
900.
This one has
Okay,
those
so this one has a magazine of 42 for that 900. This one has a magazine of 41 for that 900. This one has 42 for that 900. This one has 43 for that 900. This one has 45 for that 900. So yeah, it does look like the magazine capacity is a little small for this gun.
So overflow will help you out.
I mean, it would have to. Yeah. But look at that recoil direction, though. Straight up. That's nice to see. That could be very fun.
I'm not looking at the whole perks, but are there any reload damage perks? Because I mean, if you are blowing through those 36 or whatever shots without overflow, you're reloading often, so any reload damage perks would be beneficial.
Technically, swashbuckler, I guess.
Yeah,
but not really.
I mean, I just say technically.
And the reloads only
you have sword logic. If you get kills, sword logic, you keep that buff going for sword logic. That's just, I mean, it's rampage. It's a different form of rampage. So, what's the reload speed? Reload speed is 50, so that's not bad. So you can reload real quick and keep sword logic going. I mean, that's really about it, honestly. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're a guy that likes to shoot forever. What are you thinking about overflow with your Titan boots? You two?
Oh, what, Peacekeepers?
Yeah.
I just think overflow overall. I never use the Titan boots.
And what about recycled energy? I've seen this on some things, and I think for like a lot of these ability-focused builds, recycled energy is pretty good. Reloading after defeating targets grants energy to your lowest charged ability. It depends on how much energy. It doesn't tell us how much, right? But, I mean, could be useful, I guess. What else do we have, weapon-wise?
That's it. That's all the weapons.
Oh, okay.
As you like to say, oh, biscuits.
Oh, biscuits. Oh, bother.
Hey, bother. So yeah, we've got our Court of Blades. They then went through the artifact perks, which I can go through with you individually because guess what? They're also in the TWAB this week. So this week in Destiny for the 6th of March 2025, or the TWAB, as we like to call it. And we are not reverting, even though I've just said what it is.
These are the ones that are being added to the current artifact, right?
Yes. So your artifact that you currently have is going to have 5 more mods added to it that you can then select. And these are going to be at the bottom. And you're going to have overload trace rifles. So again, uninterrupted fire from your equipped trace rifle causes the beam to stun combatants. Beam medic, rapid trace rifle final blows heal you and nearby allies. Elemental siphon in column 3 is rapid final blows with kinetic weapons or a matching weapon type of your equipped super, creating elemental pickup that matches your equipped super. Oh, and you get a boost with this. Elemental pickups grant matching super energy when they are collected. Harsh refractions, which is in column 4. Trace rifles do more damage to targets afflicted by elemental debuffs matching their elemental type. And then column 5 is limit break. So casting a super while you're critically wounded or having an elemental buff matching your super element grants a period of increased super damage.
Why didn't they just call it panic super? Because that's what that is.
It really is, though. But that's going to be really strong for you Titans with your Superman punch. That's going to be well. I guess it depends on how much of a buff you get, though, right? So Golden Gun one shot is probably going to be strong. Your Superman punch is probably going to be strong. What else is? I guess Blade Barrage, but we don't really use that anymore.
We don't talk about Bruno. Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno. But I mean, they point out in the TWAB, and they did point out in the stream that like they're leaning fully into trace rifles. And seeing as we've got Lodestar, which is our exotic trace rifle for this season, don't forget about Microcosm that you can go and get from the Power Heart if you've got the Final Shape expansion. They also point out that we've got one in the dungeon, and there's also one in Iron Banner. So they're really leaning into them this episode.
I mean, and then once again, you have the Unsworn with Subjugation and Rewind with, either Target Lock or the Beam Explosion one.
Sorry, I fell asleep. Was that the one that you were talking about with the dungeon?
Oh my. Flupper.
I've heard
yes, that one.
That can be a very good thing to have on weapons.
I'm sorry, you were talking, so I just immediately fell asleep. I thought that's what we do to each other.
That's fair. I can't. That's fair.
Oh dear.
How dare you use my own spell against me?
I know.
Detonator Beam, that's what it is. Detonator Beam, Killing Tally, Target Lock. So many good rolls. Anyway.
And then. Again, also in the TWAB this week, so you can also read about this as well as watching the live stream. But we have a look ahead to Act 3 of Heresy. Now, they're going to give us a reprise strike, which we kind of spoiled a couple of weeks back when we said this is in the database. People have kind of glitched into it. It's there. So they confirmed that the Sunless Cell strike from Destiny 1 is returning in Act 3. So yeah, that's.
I'll be honest with you, I forgot what that is.
Alakul, the Dark Blade, down in the pit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But he's not. He's Alakul, the Light Blade, now on the Throne World. And as we discussed, there'll obviously be a new boss, and they did allude to a new boss being in the Sunless Cell. So I wonder who they threw in there. Interesting. Now, could be anybody.
Yep. Same pit, new guy.
Or
new pit boss.
Or did the Shield brothers get taken and they got thrown in there? And now with shields on shields on shields in that tiny little area. Could be. They could be messing with us.
You're right.
Anyway,
yeah.
And then they debuted a new hectic PvP mode centered around 2 beloved vehicles.
I don't believe it. It's impossible.
I know. And it's called Heavy Metal.
Oh, that. Yeah, I did see that. That's nice. Sorry, go ahead.
So you can either be a Brig or a Drake tank. And that's it. You get a choice of being on Brigs or Drakes, I think.
Can't be Drake. Drake lost.
I don't know if you can be a Brig on the Drake side, or I don't know how it's going to work. Do you have to be on the... Because I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
like that was my assumption. Like they sort of feel like pitched it as like, you know, Drake versus Brig. But yeah, I'm curious.
Do you get a choice, or do you just get
up?
lumped on the team of Drakes or the Brigs?
Is it each side? Is that, or does both side have like 2 tanks, 2 brigs? You know,
That's what we were just discussing. Yeah, we don't know.
That's what we just said.
It seemed like it was like one. Yeah, you know, it was like, you know, battle for supremacy. This vehicle type versus this vehicle type. But
yeah,
we don't know. We just know a little bit. They teased us, and I was like, yes, bring us silly PvP modes. You guys are not an esports PvP team. Stop trying to make it happen. This is not an esports PvP game. Bring us stupid PvP modes. Let me play in my vehicles. Bring me my big team battle. Let me do stupid things with my friends against other people doing stupid things with their friends. That's all.
Let's build our own PvP maps.
Combined arms. We need combined arms back with as many vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's combined arms?
Just bring the Halo into the Destiny. You know you want to, just do it.
Combined arms was the big team battles that we had in Destiny 1 with the vehicles. So you could jump on your Sparrow and Sparrow over to one of the tanks, the Cabal tanks, you know, the ones that kind of fire like a crab. Really weird.
That you can boost.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of them. Or you could get in a turret and fire the turrets, or you could get on the sparrows that shoot out from the drakes. You know, they ride around on their little sparrows shooting you, especially on the moon. Those ones. Can't remember the names. Long time ago. And they had the map on Mars, which I can't ever remember the name of, but I always remember First Light on the moon. That was the big one. But this looks like
and shoot everybody. That's all.
This heavy metal looks like you can't even get out of the vehicles. It's just vehicle on vehicle. So,
yep. You are Pacific Rim,
or you are Titanfall.
No, Titanfall, Pacific Rim, all Pacific Rim.
But it would be interesting is if there was like they did a variation of this where there were kind of 2 Brigs and 2 Drakes on like the sides of the map. And there were other vehicles that you could jump on your Sparrow and try and get to them as quick as possible. But you could also then fight against people that aren't in said vehicle, and because that was quite interesting. Because I think in the combined arms, heavy dropped quite a lot, so you could go and grab your Galahorn and take out those people on those vehicles, which was also quite fun. Yeah.
There's a little bit of risk reward if you can jump on the vehicle. However, you just put a giant target on your face, and everyone's going to blow you up. But good luck.
Yes.
See how long you last. Yeah, I'm just happy for the variation, and I know they were like, we've been working on this for a while. It's like, yes, this is what we want.
Bring more stuff like that, and you know what would make it even better, Bungie, is if you actually gave us a calendar and told us when these modes were coming each and every week.
But they can't do that because they don't even know.
For no reason at all do we want to know when things are coming. But even so, like, if there's something happening, like, especially if you're going to make it a weekend thing, like, I'm assuming this is a rotator they're going to throw in, you know, and it'll be up for the full week. But if it is like a weekend only trials-esque, like, hey, you know, come play, you know, big break battle weekend, I would like to know when that is so I can make sure I have a chance to play. And I don't log on, you know, Tuesday morning right before reset and go, oh, well, I guess I missed that. We would like to know when things are happening.
Well, you're not playing Monster Hunter, so why aren't you just playing Destiny at all times in your free time, Peroty?
Because there's only so much Destiny to do in my free time. Because I don't have anywhere to put my guns. So
I'm
just
leaving them wholesale. Is that true? Is there only so much Destiny you can do?
When?
Well, so much Destiny you can do
at all times
to feel good about it.
No, there's only so much Destiny that I'm allowed to do. You have to get it right.
No, but in general, because Peroty said there's only so much Destiny you can do, right?
No,
is that true?
No.
See, he says you're lying, Peroty.
Allowed to do.
Slander. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, allowed to do by the forces of everything else in the world.
Just want to preference this heavy metal isn't coming until Act 3, which should be. Let me just check my calendar. Blah, 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 blah.
Are we in Act 2 yet?
We are in Act 2 on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're almost in Act 2. You can see Act 2 over there. It's coming over the hill now. It's not quite here yet, but you can see it in the distance. You see all the dust is kicking up. Act 2 is nearly here.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
so
it's going to be for 3 weeks. It's going to be for 3 weeks. So you've got week 6, 7, and 8, and then week 9, which is the 1st of April, which will be Act 3.
You get it for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I know.
Act 2 is 3 weeks because they're like, let's be honest, guys. There's nothing in Act 2.
Oh,
we just want to bring you. No, not that there's nothing. There's
so much in Act 2.
They're like, listen, we'll bring the court stuff out. We know that'll keep you all busy for like 4 minutes with the new Court of Blades, and then you'll have min-max that to death, and then we'll bring you big brick battle, which I don't care what you call it. It's big brick battle now. That's what it is in my brain.
Have we ever been in a break in Destiny? I know we've been in tanks, obviously, but have we ever been in a break? Ever?
No.
So we won't even know what the controls are.
Missions that we were, but yeah, those were all tanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So we don't even know the break controls when we jump in. So whoever's on that side first is going to be like, okay, what do I do?
Waiting for the Datto video now.
Right?
How to control your brig.
Shoot, repeat.
So yes, this stuff is that we're talking about now. So the Sunless Cell Reprise, the Heavy Metal PvP mode, all coming in Act 3. And then also we're getting the Rite of the Nine, which is an event free for all players coming with Act 3 of Heresy. So no matter if you're a new player or a veteran, everyone will have the chance to experience a new twist on 3 classic dungeons. So there's only 3: Prophecy, Spire of the Watcher, and Ghost of the Deep. And you'll have the chance to go in and learn in Explorer mode. And they showed you on stream, it's got these pop-ups that say, right, you need to go and do this to get this to work, to get that door to open, to go there. Or it's follow the little diamond and this will take you through the maze of this is where you're meant to go. Or if you've fallen down here, we've put some special support stuff down here for you because you don't know where you're going. So they've got this kind of new learning experience for players to kind of, so even if you haven't got the dungeon keys for these things, so Prophecy, Spire of the Watcher, and Ghost of the Deep, this is going to be free for you to kind of get into. And there's going to be one up every week, I believe, and it's going to be on a rotator. So it'll only be one dungeon per week in this rotator. And I don't know if this is going to run separate to the actual dungeon rotators as well. Hopefully we'll get more details on that. But you can also ramp up the difficulty. So we've got a new mode, even though we've just changed the names of all the modes from whatever we now... Expert is the best one, isn't it? Or Master. I've forgotten.
Yeah.
Master,
Expert. Grandmaster, if you're talking about the...
Don't get too tied up in them. They're just changing again. So
yes,
we're changing the names of the modes again. So whatever you think it is.
No. We've just got an additional mode called Ultimatum.
I don't like ultimatum.
No, it's an ultimatum.
We're not fans of ultimatums. I don't know if you know this.
Sounds like a threat.
It is a threat.
So you can take on 3 levels of challenge to earn new rewards. Some very strong, very 9-themed weapons as well will be available. And they looked very similar to kind of how we had with the Onslaught weapons, with the shinies and things. And the very kind of... And I'm guessing, I'm just throwing it out there now, that you might be able to get yourself the Trials of the 9 shaders. Because I'm looking at these weapons, they look very Trials of the 9 and Honors of the 9, which are the white shaders that you used to be able to get for playing Trials when it was Trials of the 9 before Trials of Osiris in Destiny 2. And I've got those shaders. There's 2 of them. So yeah, one is really white. It outdoes Chatterwhite.
That would
completely.
Be Honors of the 9. Yep.
And then you've got the one that's got slightly grey tinges in there, but it's a really nice grey tinge. So even if you haven't got like the white one for the Stormtroopers, you can put it on your other characters, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I think that because they're bringing this back with those weapons that are going to be really cool 9-themed weapons, that you might be able to get the shader, which would be nice for people to be able to get because it hasn't been available since like I think year 1 or whenever Trials of the 9 went away. And but it might upset some OG players, but I think they've probably all left by now. That was like
they aren't here anymore.
Yeah, that was like 8 or 9 years ago. They don't care anymore.
I has one, and no, I'm not upset.
No, because it's a really nice shader, so everybody should be able to get it.
It's a very nice shader.
I'm not saying that it is going to come back. I'm just speculating it could come back with this Rite of 9 thing.
Yeah, there's 9 themed things, so I mean, we should have the 9 themed, pretty things with the 9 themed weapons.
And they do show you some of the weapons in the Vidoc, don't they?
They do. Was that the one where like you could walk around and like select the one you wanted to get or go for? Because
that's
saw
what I thought too. I did see that
because they had all the weapons sort of there, like hovering like kiosk style, like out in the big white desert sand, white of the 9, or
the ground's moving and making me
like right of the 9 area.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm wondering. I was like, are you just showing me? Is it just a developer? Here are the weapons you'll be able to get, or will I be able to go and say, like, I want to run this activity. This is the reward I want. Sort of focusing style, like sort of either choose ahead of time. This is the
they
one
were
I
like
want.
they walked up to all the different weapons, and you were like, oh, could I get this one? Could I get this one?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. It's like, hey, whether it's like the onslaught focusing, hey, this is the one I want to focus, where I'm not guaranteed, but at least
yes, you can attune.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, let me attune what I'm going for. I don't want the ones that I don't want the ones that I don't care about. I want the ones that I wish to receive, please.
Yeah.
So the auto rifle with overload and something, right, Peroty? That's you.
I don't know. Probably. I don't remember what the other weapons were. But yeah, give me weapons. Make them shine.
I can tell you the weapons once I get there in the live stream. I can tell you. So the first one is the Prosecutor. I think that's from Prophecy, isn't it? The Relentless. The Wild Flight, the Long Arm, keep walking. The Judgment, that's the hand cannon, Sudden Death, and Terminus Horizon, and then finally, oh no, not finally, Limit something. Go back. Oh, no, go back. That was forward. No, I've gone back too far.
And others, yeah. I mean, the prophecy weapons, the prophecy weapons alone are worth the price of admission. But yeah, it's really nice too that they made a point. They didn't say in the Vidoc, they didn't say in the TWAB, but that's part of the report roundup. Is yes, these dungeons will be free. So even if you don't own the dungeon key or the pass or the seasonal anything, if you've never set foot in any of these 3 dungeons, they will be free for all players through this event. Now,
please come play our game.
Yeah, so you can't go and play them, at their normal locations, but through this event you can go play them, which is great. And honestly, it's so nice to finally have a place where you can say, "Let me go into this dungeon, but help me figure out how to do the dungeon. Let me figure out where I need to go." Because so many, Sundered Doctrine, the brand new one, I was reminded they just drop you into a big room. I mean, it's a big, beautiful room, but they just drop you in there, like, find the path. How?
Yep.
Where? What? In what world? And like, and in the more recent ones, it's basically like, find the tiny vent we've put in behind the waterfall for you to drop down and like, sneak away. It's not like find the big room where the enemies are on the bar. It's like, nope, you could wander around here for 40 minutes and never find the right way to go. And we will give you 0 help, 0 information. So it's nice to give people a way to say, if you actually want to learn this and not have to rely on LFG or a friend to drag you through, it's nice that we'll finally have a way to say, let me learn how to do this. Show me where to go. Show me how this works. So I don't have to literally have a video up side by side going, where do I go now? Where do I go now? What vent am I looking for to drop down through this thing? Like, there's just 0. Like, I enjoy playing things. I don't enjoy having to memorize every vent and every tiny little crevice you built for me to progress. At some point, show me where I'm going.
Bruh.
This gives me hope for them doing the similar thing with raids as well.
I don't want my hand to be held. I just want them to put like a small sign somewhere. Just something to light the way. This is a looter shooter. This isn't like a deep RPG where I'm learning the story and fighting the bad guys. No, I'm slaughtering this boss for the 900th time this week. He's dead. He's very, very dead. He's been dead many times over. I am not the first one through here. The first Guardian through, come back and leave a sign. Put a little signpost up. Hey, this is where you need to go.
But it gives you hope for, like, they might do this with raids as well, for helping people get through raids and showing them the mechanics of doing stuff in the raids as well. And like you were saying, I was with Blue this week and he went, let's go and do the Sundered Doctrine. He took me in these rooms that people are kind of just standing with their little clipboards. He's going, look in this room, look in this room. And I'm like, okay, cool. Where are we going? He went, we're not going here. I was like, what? What? Where are we going then?
Hey, no attention to these rooms.
Yeah, that's
these
what he
rooms
basically
are unimportant.
These rooms you do not need to know at this point in time. You'll need to come back to these at some point, but you don't need to know them now. I just thought I'd show them to you. Like, just take me to the encounters. Let's do the encounters and hold my hand.
Mm-hmm. There are 4 rooms here. You don't have to care about them. Just murder everyone in there. The bat will give you knowledge. Murder the bat and get his knowledge. Go do things.
Kill bats, get knowledge. So, the other weapons were Terminus Horizon, which is a machine gun by the looks of it. Then we've got a sidearm, which is Liminal Vigil. Yeah, Liminal Vigil, which is a sidearm. And then we've got a glaive, which is Greasy Luck. Well, these are the names they've put in there. Cold Comfort, rocket launcher. The New Pacific Epitaph, grenade launcher. And No Survivor, which is a submachine gun. So those are the weapons that they kind of showed in their kind of gameplay, not final, subject to change look at these weapons. So I can only tell you what they've told us or shown us.
Also, the bat gives you more than just knowledge. It could give you Guardian. It could give you Traveler. It could give you...
Okay, he gives you insight into things.
It tells you a symbol you're looking for. And that's the other piece with that dungeon is I don't know the names for most of those pictures. So he'd be like, it's this one. I'm like, is that the one with the red hands and the little ball? Yes. Okay, great. That's the one this is then.
Yep. Okay, for you two and anyone else that's in our Discord that listens to this show, I'm not telling you to learn it. I'm actually helping you. If for some reason you ever go back in there, right, in the Taka chat, inside the actual chat, there's maps for all the rooms. There's the optimal way to point the mirrors and where to put them if you ever need it. There's a list of the symbols, what they're called and what they mean. I mean, there's all kinds of information for the dungeon in there if you want it.
Can I just stop you there?
That sounds like he's trying to teach me things, and I'm not here to teach. I'm here to murder things.
I'm just saying it's there if you ever want to.
No, I understand that. But just like the Avengers, where they have a Hulk, I have a blue screen. He's got all of that. He takes me. He does the stuff. I shoot the things. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My job is to make sure the man with the brains doesn't get touched by a single ad anywhere in the dungeon or boss or anything else.
No, because he shouts at you. He really does shout at you if he gets killed.
Who does?
Doesn't care for it.
Blue gets angry at me. I'm trying to do this and I'm dying. That's okay. I'll be there in a minute and I'll res you. It's fine.
See, that's why people get mad. Like that skit when you posted about I'm the most important job. I'm ad clear, but it is an important job. Yeah. People crap on it, but ad clear is really important, dude. Because when you're busy trying to do the mechanics and you're dying, guess what? You're not doing the mechanics. You know?
If there's absolutely 0 things on the level to kill anyone, everyone's safe.
That too, I guess.
Yeah, because you murdered everything. There's nothing left.
I know we've only got 3 weeks of Act 2, and I was like already panicking about these new cool weapons that are kind of coming. And then when they showed us what's coming with Act 3, and I'm like, I need some of those cool 9 weapons. I really do like the look of those, and I'm like, I need to clean out my vault. And then they went, we've overloaded you with information of what's coming in Act 2 and then Act 3. We're also going to stack Act 2 with a whole Guardian Games event. So for the 3 weeks that we have Act 2, so you can go do your Court of Blade stuff, we're also going to give you Guardian Games. And we're going to give you a new mode with Guardian Games, which will make people want to go and play it. So,
I mean, will it?
No, they will.
I've seen the mode.
No, you've not seen the mode because I've seen the mode.
I've seen the description of the mode. Basically, who kills the most bosses. There you go. Right?
Yeah.
Bruh.
So this is called Rushdown, and it's a boss rush style activity where you'll battle a series of bosses taken from Destiny 2's campaigns, seasonal story missions, and exotic missions. And each encounter defeat, the combatants will increase in difficulty, and you have 5 per run, and you have a time limit to complete the run. And if you complete it faster, you'll get more points. And if you don't use revive tokens, you also get more points. And it looks cool because we haven't had something like this. We haven't had a change to these events for quite some time, and we've asked for different things in these events, and they've actually given us something different in this event. And I like they did with like the Court of Blades, they haven't given us back like fully IO, and they've teased at story beats for IO, which you might learn in Act 2, and they've brought you back a section of it. I think they're now learning that they don't actually need to bring back all these different things, so we don't need a full story mission. We just want to go and kill the boss. So if we put this in a boss rush mode, it kind of works, and we just transport people to and from that location, which really works for me. And just
but the activity is for Guardian games.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to say they've never been the problem, because they have been the problem in the past. So okay, the activity isn't necessarily the problem. Let's say that, right? The problem with Guardian games is every Guardian games, something is weighted. Every time.
But they haven't said that to be weighted.
The number, they don't have to. It's always weighted.
No, they do. They normally say, we've weighted it so that this amount of medallions is kind of balanced to work out with this amount of hunters compared to this amount of warlocks.
That, right? The last one they said that up front.
No,
the one before that, they didn't say that up front.
No, they did.
The one before that, they said it like as it was happening. And the one before that, they didn't say it at all.
No, they did.
Until after it was happening. Until after it was done.
They did every single time, because they said the Titan population is like 20%. There's more hunters than anything else. If we just had it straight numbers, there'd be no point in having the competition, because the pure numbers would win.
And I agree that there's no point in having the competition at all. Like,
so if you're new here, basically what's happening is Respawn's getting his knickers in a twist because they weight the classes differently each year. They haven't done that, or haven't said that they're doing that. So the whole event for Guardian Games is Titans versus Warlocks versus Hunters. And you used to go in with different you used to go into like doing nightfalls and score points for just all Titans, all Hunters, all Warlocks. And it would stack up each day, and Bungie would work out their weighting system. And sometimes they would make sure that the Titans were better than the Hunters compared to the amount of Hunters that were registered in the game.
That's a good way to say it. They would make sure. That's a good way to say it.
There you go. They would make sure.
Yes, because if you've got 60% Hunters, 20% Titans, and 20% Warlocks, who's going to win?
I don't disagree with your logic, Peroty. I don't disagree with that. You're right. You're absolutely right, which is why I say there's no freaking point to the games, dude.
No, but we established that last year, but they are fun to play.
And nothing matters.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think we established that last year. It's just a fun thing that kind of comes around every year. And the big change this year is that you don't have to go and do the nightfalls. You don't have to do focused events as part of the event this year. You can go and compete in whatever you want to kind of do. Just bank your medals, get your rewards, get your Eververse stuff if you want, because that looks pretty cool this year, and not really care about the event. I mean, I don't think people care. Otherwise, I think they would have gone into more detail about, okay, this is how we're going to be weighting it and doing it like that. I think that they know, because of the population is what it is at the moment, it's just an event, and we'll just see what the outcome is at the end of it. I think that's the way it should be. So if there are more Hunters playing or more Hunters banking medals, good on you. You've chosen that class, and you're going to go with that class, and hopefully win. But
the only thing is, it's aggravating because it's weighted, and then
it used to be weighted.
When the Titans or the Warlocks win, then the Hunters get crap like, oh, you're not as good as you thought you were. People don't like Hunters as much as y'all say they are.
Out of the four times,
and then there's a stat in the middle that shows, like, out of the times it's been around, Hunters have won twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Warlocks and the Hunters have won.
Titans.
Warlocks and Titans have won once. So don't worry, it's fine. You'll win again this year, and then you'll be the ultimate champions.
Doubtful.
It doesn't matter.
And then your statue will have your little character.
Honestly, I don't want the statue there at all. Mine, yours, Warlocks, doesn't matter.
The statue's there now. We don't remove statues. Just don't look at the statue, and it'll be the same thing as if it weren't there.
So Rushdown, this new boss rush mode that we've got, you've got 3 ways to play it. So you can start up with the warm-up mode, which will kind of, what we had previous years is they had a warm-up couple of days where you could kind of go and fight and kind of learn the mechanics of these bosses and that bosses and what they've kind of done to change the encounters. So you've got that as an entry point to the activity. Then you've got standard and expert versions, which will ramp up the difficulty, offering more powerful combatants with modifiers and adding revive tokens into the mix. And each mode will offer the standard matchmaking, class-based matchmaking. So if you want to go in as all Titans, then you can if you like, or private fire teams. And you work through the Rushdown.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us options.
Yeah. As you work through Rushdown, your performance will be determined by the quality of your rewards. So you'll be judged on 2 criteria, bosses defeated and total score, which can be increased by completing the encounters quickly, earning bonus points for extra time remaining, and limiting your revive tokens will also increase your score for bonuses for unused tokens. So these will be judged as bronze, silver, gold, platinum, or diamond. So that's how you you will be judged fairly, I think. And the high scores in expert mode will also offer the chance for a fully masterwork Guardian Games weapon with additional perks. So if you haven't got any of the Guardian Games weapons from previous years, they'll be back and they will come with double perks. Masterworked if you get the expert version high score.
Was Hullabaloo Guardian Games?
Hullabaloo, yes, is a waveframe grenade launcher, which will also be back. And what else have we got? Let me just run through these for you. So we've got
Raxapos.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember I'm from the other ones and failing now.
So you've got the Arc Compressed Waveframe Heavy Grenade Launcher, which is the Hullabaloo, the Strand Lightweight Frame Scout Rifle Traxapos, and the Void Aggressive Frame Submachine Gun, the Title. And apparently they'll all be coming with new perk pools. And then there's the Arc Adaptive Frame Trace Rifle, which is new for the event, which is Coronis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. The title submachine gun, is that coming?
Yeah, we said that. Yeah.
Did you? Okay. And you said the Traxapos. I did hear that.
Did say that.
And that's all I have in my vault is the sub, the scout, and the grenade launcher.
One thing I want to make sure that everybody's aware of: Eva Levante, who runs this event, who comes to the tower and runs these events for us,
gives you a class item. To her.
Gives you a class item. Take class item, put it on. Do not take it off for 3 weeks, because if you take it off, especially now we've kind of got that thing where you click a button and you can do your pre-made kind of loadouts. Just be careful that doesn't take it off, because it will take it off and you'll forget. You won't earn any of the medallions. You'll be upset. You've done the things, but you haven't got anything to kind of show for it. So just make sure, because I think that happened to me and you, Peroty, last Guardian Games, didn't it?
Every year I switch the loadout around and then I forget and I go, oh, right, I haven't been getting any credit for any of these. Yeah. And so also a good time to remind you, if you are running if you're running a build with the exotic class item, now's the time to at least have another one at the ready to either just swap your exotic class item out or put on a build with a different exotic in a different slot, because if you don't wear the special thing, you don't get credit. Just like on Halloween, if you don't wear your hat, you don't get credit. You don't wear your class item, you don't get credit for this event. So gotta find something new.
And you do want them, because when you do events, you'll be getting shoulder glows and glows all over your body to show how amazing you are. So if you are the best in tower, you'll get a glow. If you are a member of the winning class of the day, you'll get another glow. You'll get a shoulder glow linked to your weekly performance in Rushdown, a second shoulder glow for your weekly performance in Gambit. We don't mention the other one because it's just Gambit.
Did you?
Oh, okay.
You said
Guardian Games Supremacy, which is basically Gambit as well. So you get a second shoulder glow for that. And
Supremacy and Gambit. You have to do both.
Yeah. Well, one or the other. And you can have a bronze, silver, or gold glow in the shape of a laurel crown, depending on your class's place in the Friday coronation ceremony. Because for some reason you play the event from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on the Friday they go, "Hey, this is who's doing the best."
Yep.
Especially for the first week, anyway. After that, it kind of makes sense.
If you haven't played on the weekend, then too bad. You people get credit for next week.
Yes.
They didn't show any of the roles for the weapons, did they, by chance?
They do not.
No,
they just say there'll be new perk pools.
They will.
And they've been doing pretty great with like the origin traits and stuff on the perk pool. So I'm excited to see what we get.
Mm-hmm.
Traxapost I've never loved, but the title's been good and the whole
Traxapost was a very good scout rifle. Came with some really good perks last year with like threadlings and slice, I think, and things like that. It leaned quite hard into the strand because I think it was one of the new kind of things. It's like, oh, okay, we'll get that. But if you want to be a gladiator this year, you can be. With a gladiator style.
Before we go too far ahead.
No, I want to talk about Guardian games.
Well, I just want to talk about Guardian games just for a second.
That is Guardian games.
Oh, okay. Well, about the weapons that you were talking about, right?
Yes.
You know how Peroty just mentioned that they've been doing really well with like the origin traits and whatnot, right?
Right.
And the subjugation trait I hear is pretty good from the dungeon too.
But I mean, in theme with the Guardian games, how interesting would it be if, based on your class, so not class-specific weapons, but class-specific perks on said weapon, like the Guardian games, the intrinsic trait is, if you're a hunter, you get more handling, for example, or if you're a warlock, you get more reload speed. If you're a titan, you get more aim assist. Whatever, right?
Accurate.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a pretty interesting perk. Not great, but it would absolutely be thematic, I think, you know? Whatever. I just wanted to say that because when Peroty said they've been doing great with the... Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it'd be fun. I mean, because like the whole point of this used to be like Olympics-ish, and it was a big competition between the classes. And now we're all like, yeah, we did that. It was fine, and nobody cares. But yeah, like just have fun with it. Give us more goofy things to play. Like this, honestly, I would have loved to see the Brig versus Drake PvP match come out for this. And then have Briggs, you know, and do the class specific matchmaking again, like they did for the Vanguard playlist, and then have your you know Drake or your Brig in your team colors, in your class colors, and come out and just say, let's just see how it is, because you know it'd be just like playing Scorch. You know, everybody has the same weapon. You know, you're all on a tank, you're all on a Brig. Like it's about as even as you can have a head-to-head matchup of any sort.
Sure would be.
And just say, hey, let's battle it out in your you know vehicle of choice and see who's the best, quote unquote.
Hey Bungie, this man's spitting facts. Just so you know, you can pay this man. Care of Two Titans and a Hunter podcast.
Maybe next year, throw it in there, or throw something silly in. Like nobody's taking this seriously except for the gamer boys who are still 13 years old screaming about what's better, PlayStation or Xbox on forums. The rest of us
PC.
are old and we're tired and we're just like, listen, none of this matters. No, they're in different forums screaming about different graphics cards. But like the rest of us are just here to play the game. Give us silly things. I love all the glows. Honestly, I love the fact that I can just be filled with glows, and then I can get that thing that they gave out for free infinitely, and then for free once, where I could make giant heart stream from behind me, so I can add that to the glows. I just want to be, you know, a dancing disco ball. Bungie, that's what I want. I want to do well. I want to be decorated.
Disco ball with
and
ribbon.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a beautiful thing.
You can be a gladiator. I feel that you can be more of a gladiator if you're a Titan, because the others.
Let's be honest here, because that's just what that's supposed to be.
The Titans look like the gladiators with like the red lion and red and gold lion on the chest. Hunters, you look pretty cool. You look like more of an emperor. You look more like the emperor.
I would say the warlocks look like the emperor. You don't think they look regal as hell?
They look like the peasants in the crowd. They just go, "Here's a helmet."
Yeah,
okay.
They do.
Yeah.
Come on, the peasants just used to use the white robes and things.
I mean,
they were very much
everybody
like,
did. But
they were very much like, the Titans will look great. We'll do something for the other two classes.
Okay.
I've seen that look for the warlocks before. I think I've already got a helmet that's very similar to that. I've also got robes that look like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can put the little gladiator bits on the side of my robe, but I know I'm just a peasant. I'm sorry, warlocks. That's not me calling you a peasant. That's Bungie calling you a peasant.
Damn. Shots fired.
But they do look nice, and they will be available for Bright Dust and Silver. So I believe the Bright Dust is 6,000 Bright Dust per
It usually is,
like full costume, and it's 1,500 silver.
Now, for the fashion game, I think in this particular, I think Titans win. Titans do be looking kind of hot. I do like the snakes around the hunter arms, though. Thematic. Warlocks have the hawk on the helmet and the shoulders. I see. But thematically, I think Titans win this. The Titans, man, y'all get cool dragon armor, a couple sets of cool dragon armor. I mean, this man, y'all are just they are really stepping up your fashion game. Whereas the hunters, they're just like, you wear all black anyway. Who cares? It's like that's not cool, man.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
They're just like, listen, you guys aren't going to appreciate what we do for you. You're just going to turn it all black. So why put in the effort?
I mean, why not be a black dragon? I wouldn't mind being a black dragon. I mean,
dragons are next year. The Guardian Games of Dragons next year. But last year introduced skimmers. You remember this? We got all excited. Skimmers, our little hoverboards. They were introduced with the Guardian Games last year with the All-Star Vector. And it will be again available this year for free. So you've got to pick it up from Eva Levante. So she gives you, I think it was a blue one, wasn't it? A blue skimmer to start off with. Yeah.
Oh,
you still got to completely. Well, no, you don't because we've already got it, and I don't, and Peroty doesn't because we already got it. But people that haven't already got this skimmer, you pick it up from Eva Levante, you complete the onboard mission quest, and if you want to keep it permanently after the event finishes, complete the drop-in quest, and the All-Star Vector will be yours to keep forever, like it is for us.
And you too can have it and keep it and look at it every day and say, "Aren't you beautiful?"
You can also just buy Zers that he's got.
Or you could buy Micro Mini and say, "But this is way sillier and makes me giggle every time."
Or you can put your Star Wars speeder on and just zoom around with that.
No, I'm really waiting for them to give us like a legit hoverboard, like from Back to the Future. The little, or I was gonna say the little pink one, but having the bulldog one would actually be also super nice.
You can put some really nice shaders on it to make it look very similar to the Back to the Future one.
You can, yeah. And the Zer one takes colors really well because it doesn't have all those mix matching colors on it like the other one does. You know, it takes nice flat colors. So if you have the Zer one, it's really nice too. But
it's like the Stormtrooper armor, which is perfect because it's just lovely undecorated metal that takes everything beautifully.
Very nice. So another couple of things to kind of go through for Guardian Games. So Eva Levante will have, again, as she has she'll have bounties that you can complete to get extra things. There'll be podiums to light up for doing X, Y, and Z. And there'll be contender cards to choose from. So these will be divided between gold, platinum, and diamond. And your diamond ones, and I only found out this from kind of going back over last year's stuff. Last year, they gave us 3 diamond cards each week. This year, you only get 2. Because you know what? You had 1 diamond card last year for watching a Twitch streamer. And you had to watch, I think it was like 15 minutes of a Twitch stream that people were playing Guardian Games. And they literally gave you diamond rewards. Because they are so kind of rewarding and they are worth a lot of kind of to the podiums, you're only limited to 2 a week because they will just kind of swing in the balance. If everybody kind of starts banking these every day and that's all you had, it would really swing in whoever's favour. So that's why you're only limited to 2 a week this Guardian Games. The medallions that Guardians bank in the tower will be counted daily, and the crest of the daily winning class will be inserted into the tower podium. And that's where you can keep a track and you can go along each day and go Hunter, Hunter, Titan, Warlock, Hunter, 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 Titan, Warlock, Hunter, Hunter, Hunter. Oh, Hunter, Hunter, Hunter. Oh, you're going to win, Hunters. So, yeah.
Respawn's not going to be happy no matter what the outcome is. And
I don't like the Guardian Games anymore.
That really means we all win.
Yeah.
I want a fair competition. I don't want a Guardian Games thing, you know?
Well, that's never going to happen.
I did find out last year, because I was messing about with the wearing like different class items, is that the class items from previous years actually worked in the Guardian Games event. Now, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. And there was a perk they put on one of the Guardian Games things that gave you more laurels, which I guess don't count now because it just goes to medallions. Because originally we had laurels and there was medallions and various different things. So they did work at one point in all Guardian Games events, but you may just be best using the one that she gives you this year and not worrying about the the previous ones, unless you want to kind of show off the glow if you won previous years, because that's how it goes.
Indubitably.
No.
And
they did show off a jersey. You can get a jersey.
It's kind of a nice jersey, all things considered.
Yeah. So do some stuff. Get the gold trance before the end of the event, and there you go. You can go to the Bungie store and get a jersey.
Yeah. And you can buy your event card or not, and get your champ title or not. They'll have some sort of new emotes and exotic sparrows and legendary shaders and things with the event card. Will it be worth buying? Maybe. It depends what it is. Now, there's of course a whole, with the Rushdown, they're going to do Guardian Games Rushdown Roulette.
And I'm not reading people's names out. I'm not reading. You're not tricking me now. I've seen the names. I've seen the names. Don't get me into this.
Destiny 2 content creators.
No,
participating in fun activations across the Guardian Games, and so they're going to team up in all the different countries. The Night Demon is really excited not to go down the path of starting to read these again, and then to scroll down and just see how many there are. So I'm just going to tell you, there's a bunch of people. They're all competing. You should go there and follow them if you don't already. And
or just play the games, roll the dice, and if you win, you win. Congrats.
Right. So each week of Guardian Games reset to reset. So Tuesday to Tuesday, creator teams can submit their best recorded score in the Rushdown at the leaderboard. They can play as little or as much as they like, but they only get one chance to submit their best high score. The leading creator team of each class will get the opportunity to spin a prizing GIF to receive a reward.
GIF
and
or
also
GIF? What are you talking about?
However you pronounce it, they're going to be able to spin a prizing one to receive a reward and also give away one prize to each person to each of their communities from the Bungie store. That's 9 prizes up for grab each week, which means 27 prizes being given away by our creators for the duration of the Guardian Games. And North America, UK, France, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Spain, Nordics, Poland, Benelux, Italy, Latin America, Brazil, and the Middle East all have one team of each class with people competing in them. And I'll let you, at this point, you're either following someone who knows what's up. And they do say this list is not, still subject to change. They're still finalizing some community members. Nordics, we're still missing a Titan. So there's a Titan running around. In the Nordics, you're needed. Everyone else is at least represented by a creator, if not multiple creators. Yeah, go follow your favorite creator. You could win something from the Bungie store. And then watch them go do the Rushdown and figure out, it is Rushdown. I was thinking that was a Crucible mode. I was like, no, I said it right. Yeah, they're going to do things. They're going to play things, and you're going to enjoy. I'm going to watch Danfinity, because Danfinity's good people with Shield Maiden and Zavala as our Titans in North America land. Going and destroying things. Hunters, you should watch Samicat or Mactix. Multiple mention teams being Mactix.
Mactix is one of the ones that's on there. That's cool.
Mactix, yep, on Team Hunter.
Nice. My man.
Yeah, you've got options. Yeah, I'm not going to read this whole list of people because I've learned from 19 mistakes. But yeah, there's many people. Go watch them. Go win things. Enjoy yourselves.
What?
And don't forget, sub to your favorite creator too. A gift sub during the Guardian Games on Twitch will earn you the competitive contender emblem. There will also be limited quantities of the emblem given away by the creators as they participate in the Rushdown Roulette. So stay tuned to their socials. So, and here it is. It's a very Guardian Games, themed emblem. I'm going to say it's different than the ones from last year, but I'm not positive. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But either way, you can sub things, you can win things, and be happy about it. We do have an Act 2 Crucible Strike Team update. Ooh. Everyone's favorite thing, where they say, hey, we're gonna change things around and mess with some things. So that Redrix Estoc reward and focusing fix.
Yep.
In Act 2, they did correct an issue. They could prevent players from receiving the Redrix Estoc's competitive pulse rifle after completing their placement series. So you weren't even getting one at all. That's for some people. So that's rude.
Oof.
Just they play the 7 games and then you get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. Well, so for those players who have already completed the placements and did not receive the fixed roll, you can pick up a copy from Lord Shax in the Tower Courtyard. So go visit Shax, he'll have one waiting for you, and it is a fixed roll. So yeah, everybody gets the same one to start with. In addition, fixes for the placement series Redrix Estoc reward we will also be fixing the issue where players were unable to focus previous competitive Crucible rewards from Shaxx after playing 3 competitive playlist matches each week. So they fixed the role so you will get one if you have not. Go see Shaxx. They have not yet fixed the issue where you can't focus earlier things. And now that you have your fixed role, Night Demon, they're going to do some tuning. Because we wanted to dive a little deeper into the changes, and we saw that some 40% or 60%, some ridiculous percentage of trials kills last week were with this weapon. So tuning sword logic damage against players in PvP. So this will not affect the PvE efficiency. They're going to reduce the base damage for kills against players from 20 to 15%, and increase the damage bonus for kills against players in supers from 35 to 50%. So base damage goes down 5%, damage against players in a super up 15%. So, trade-offs. As I mentioned before, they'll be adding this perk to more weapons in the future. Sword logic, yes. So yeah, so there, and that's from the tuning the sword logic damage. Sorry, I forgot which perk I was talking about. Yeah, so they basically say, hey, we're going to play with this perk more in the future. Look at it in the PvP sandbox. For perks in Crucible, we generally cap the damage effect that triggers kills off a single weapon kill with no additional action required at 15%, for example, like Master of Arms or Golden Tricorn. We do allow damage perks to surpass the 15% limit when additional action is required. For example, Kill Clip, 25% kill and a reload. Harmony, 20% kill with another weapon. Desperate Measures, 20% in an ability, etc. But they're trying to avoid allowing a single kill to grant the same damage bonus as other perks which are harder to activate. So to give it a higher upside, we're aligning it more closely with the other perks. We'll be increasing the damage bonus for the secondary trigger of killing Guardians in their super, from 35 to 50. They are going to walk back some of the changes to the buffs of the lightweight pulse rifles that we got in 8153 update. So your body shot damage against players is being reduced from, all right, get your calculators out, 20.4 to 19.7. And your critical hit damage goes from 31.8 to 31.5.
Yes, very big numbers.
This is still a damage increase over their, value prior to the buff, but it shifts a little bit from some of the forgiveness and optimal kill thresholds downward. So a little slower to kill, so just, tweaking it ever so slightly. And some players have questioned, why are we nerfing the lightweight pulses and the adjacent to BXR when it appears that the Redrix alone is the issue? And they say Redrix may be the most common weapon in the Crucible, but its popularity disguises the fact that lightweight pulses are quite strong across the board. It's just the best of the best. And this is Destiny. And we know one thing about Destiny, if there's a weapon, everybody will use that singular weapon and nothing else.
The tallest nail gets the hammer.
Exactly. So when we look at the top 30 most effective primary ammo weapons in Crucible over the last few weeks, the lightweight pulses account for 6 of them, which is double the representation of the second highest subfamily. So outside of the Estoc, Outbreak Perfected, Stay Frosty, Chattering Bone, BXR Battler, and even Bad Juju are making their presence known.
Ooh.
So nerfing the Estoc alone would simply shift usage to these other things that I just mentioned and not address the actual core issue. So they don't kill the fastest or the farthest, and while they're still widely used are less effective in higher skill matches, their increased forgiveness at medium range is stepping into the roles of rapid fire pulses, auto rifles, and leading them to dominate basically everywhere in the middle of that skill curve. So to address this, they are reducing the handling stat on the Redrix from 79 to 74. So giving a little less handling. Redrix itself has high stats, as you would expect it of being a competitive weapon reward, but the handling is far too above its closest competitor, the BXR, and it's too easy to max out in almost all of the important stats when combined with the ability to slot stocks. As such, they've reduced it slightly to make it more of a trade-off. Solo versus Fireteam Lost Forgiveness. So yeah, they say as a reminder, when Act 2 goes live with update 825, so does our newest mechanic for Trials of Osiris and competitive playlists. So if you need a refresher or just sort of this washes over you like Night Demon's voice putting Respawn to sleep, then maybe you can pay back attention and tune back in if you have any interest in going and doing these things like we've talked about. So starting in Act 2, we will allow duos to match trios right off the bat in Trials and Competitive. This will continue to allow duos to play with our 3v3 playlist without making it feel like an advantage that they can't avoid trios. I'm sorry, that they can avoid trios. We have not enabled this in the past for the solo player that gets brought into the matches to fill out duos. It also feels like a bad experience to see a trio on the other side. We understand that filling out the duos games with solo players often makes it feel like a lottery to see who will get the better team, because it is. To help with this friction, we'll be setting it up so when a solo player gets matched against a larger fire team in either trials or competitive, they will be granted loss forgiveness for the match on the condition that they don't quit, go AFK, or intentionally throw the game. Doing any of these will still result in a loss because you didn't even try. And if you win the match, your win still counts as normal. That's a good change, because they're right. There's nothing worse than stepping into a trials match and you get stuck with a duo, even if it's, 2 duos and 2 solos against each other and going, I have no idea if these are 2 good duos or if it's 2 people like me just hanging out and going, we're going to get stomped. So this is nice. We believe the change will have the effect of encouraging more people to play as full fire teams, while also improving the experience of solo players who get matched with fire teams in these modes. Agreed. On the Prowl and Smoke Crucible tuning. So we've heard the feedback that Void Hunter smoke effects in combination with the new On the Prowl aspect can feel oppressive.
Yeah, I knew that.
We're going to change it. Yeah, I haven't honestly I didn't notice it in Iron Banner and haven't played enough elsewhere to see. So
yeah, but people are going to complain just because Hunter.
Yeah, because there's a lot of you, so there's a lot of you to be angry at. So here's why we're angry. We're angry about the smoke debuff. It's going to no longer reduce player movement speed or jump height, no longer reduce player weapon handling, and no longer suppresses the player movement abilities. So what's the point of the smoke then?
There isn't.
What else is left? Other than not being able to literally see, which, fair, I guess. And on the Prowl, they're going to change to say hunted players no longer have a pink glow in first-person perspective. Aww. And they reduce the glow intensity for hunted players in third person. So that's what your On the Prowl is no longer going to do.
Yay.
They're going to keep an eye on that, blah, 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 see how it works out.
Does nothing.
Yeah, it's literally just, you can't see, but I think that's it, because reading that list, I'm going, is there
But even then, when you get hit, if you get hit with smoke, point blank, you can still see. There's a sheen, right? Like a sun glare, but you can still see. Absolutely. But no, I'm thinking of blind. No, with smoke, you're shaded. You can still see, but you're shaded for 1.5 seconds, I think is what it was.
Yeah, there's having
really
been on the having been on the other end of the smoke, it definitely blinds you, and you definitely can't see who you were fighting or anything else for a minute. And it's usually that minute of now you're dead. But yeah, but if it's not going to reduce any of the movement tech, then kind of what's the point, I guess? I don't know.
There isn't one. There really isn't. And they're just, it's ridiculous in my opinion.
Well, Bungie says, get that new trial sniper rifle. So as you know, there's a new trial sniper rifle. It's got perks and things. And you can go to the lighthouse and get one. Or you'll go, it's a sniper rifle weekend. I'll skip this one, Bungie. So try again next week, and maybe I'll go to the lighthouse and get one of those weapons instead. They do have a reminder of their account linking update. So basically they're doing a changing partially as a security measure. So on February 13th, we shared with you the important update regarding linking your accounts on Bungie.net. We support the linking of multiple authentication methods to a single Bungie.net profile, and will continue doing so. The upcoming update will remove the option to unlink an account once it's been linked to your Bungie ID. The only exception will be Twitch. So basically what that means is, if you're playing this game, you either have a PlayStation account, an Xbox account, Steam, Epic, or whatever. At this point, if you're playing on PC, is it basically Steam? Has it migrated over, or do you still log in with
Steam is huge.
One of your methods?
Steam is huge. You can potentially get it on other platforms, but even if you get it on other platforms, Steam is still the majority.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, basically, it's like if you're playing this game, you're authenticating it, to it through whatever platform you're playing on. Whether it's the console, whether it's this, whether it's that. So basically, what they're saying is that once you've linked this, so right now when you go to sign in like to Bungie.net, you can do PlayStation, Steam, Xbox, Epic, and Twitch. So basically, Twitch, Twitch isn't really tied to how you're playing the game. That's not really how you're, there's no character save data with Twitch. They're like, you can add a Twitch, remove your Twitch, change your Twitch, link it, unlink it, we don't care. However, once you've linked your PlayStation, Steam, Xbox, or Epic account, you're not going to be able to unlink those. And basically they're saying they're doing this as part of a, security thing of letting people link and unlink accounts, log in and log out of people's things, doing account recovers, preventing fraud, all that stuff. So they say, you still have some weeks left before they implement the new policy. So if you do want to unlink something, now is your chance. Do it before they, enact this change. The goal is to remain the same with, to protect the integrity of players' accounts, simplify certain security systems, prevent fraud, and limit activities that go against the terms of service. And they do say, we'll have another update before this goes live. So it's not live yet. It's not coming this Tuesday. And, they told us about this, in February. But just be aware. So if you do have an account linked to your Bungie.net profile and Destiny that you want to unlink, do it before you can't anymore. Otherwise, you won't be able to once this change goes live. The only thing you'll be able to unlink is Switch. You can still add new ones. So if you're playing on console and you're going to get a PC, you can add that Steam login or add that Epic login. Or if you're playing on Xbox and you get a new PS5, you can add that PlayStation, but you can't remove the ones you have. And there's a Moments of Triumph Bungie store sale. So yeah, there's a sale. Go buy things. Don't go buy things. If I tell you about this, will you have time? Ooh, maybe. So by Tuesday morning, so by Tuesday, March 11th at 9 a.m. Pacific, if you hear these words coming out of my mouth before then, you can go take part of the Triumphant Savings Flash Sale, where basically Bungie is giving you $7.77 flat rate shipping on everything and a bunch of markdowns on selected products, including the Nerf Limited Edition Ace of Spades.
Oh, the Ace of Spades.
So if you've been sitting here saying, when am I going to buy this? Now's your chance. So, the sale went live earlier in the week, so you may have already seen this. You may have already bought things. But it ends Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you don't hear it by then, you missed the sale and you won't be sad because you weren't going to buy it anyway. And as a reminder, any Moments of Triumph reward purchase from the store does come with a gift with emblem. The Time Honored is the name of the emblem. Complete those triumphs, earn your thing, and you get this lovely dragon emblem because it's got dragons. Seems like a Welsh dragon, something like that.
Yeah.
And then we have more fashion feedback, armor previews. As Codename Frontiers gets closer, they're all about that fashion. It's just around the corner. Once again, we're tipping over their hand a little to show an ornament for the exotic armor in need of a glow up. The next one they're going to do is the Worm God Caress, a hideous piece of armor. Do you see the Warrior Monk inspiration? Very fitting for an exotic that relies so much on punching enemies. So they're basically giving the Worm God sort of like almost like Gambit-ish Hivey makeover. It's got lots of beads and little green discs and no longer the big giant like green bulbous shoulder like it used to be. And so Worm God's getting an ornament. And they have more fashion. And Bungie's going to be at Emerald City Comic Con, which I'm not. You're probably not.
Nope.
But what we do have is daylight savings time changes.
Yeah, oh no.
No way. We're not telling people about daylight savings changes.
They are. They're going to say, hey, by the way, as we enter daylight savings time, PDT, starting March 9th, so like, tomorrow.
Oh, it's like I told people last week that it was happening this week, tonight.
You did?
Yeah,
tonight. So as we record tonight, as you hear this, it's already happened. The time will change from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. because we spring forward and we fall back because time's stupid and we just manipulate it like the gods we are. And that's what's going to happen. So what does that mean? It means your ritual reset guide time is different by an hour. We do this twice a year. It's either one time or the other time. Guess what? It's the current time it is now. It's going to be the other time come Tuesday. Night Demon, don't count recovery and cheat. Don't do it.
I won't. I don't. And I won't.
All right. Well, they're telling you shouldn't. The goal of the Peroty security team is to protect players from those who intend to cause them harm to the player base or the game, such as cheating or account recovery services. For many, many years, we've seen these services used to steal or sell player accounts without the player's permission. Such services can also harvest and sell other personal information or financial information they come across. So don't do it. There's a clear relationship between boosting services and cheating. Boosting services frequently resort to cheats to churn their way through as many customers as possible. At the risk of a ban, the service will then sell your account credentials to other bad account actors and cheaters. So they'll recover it, they'll steal your banking information, and they'll steal all your information. So yeah, just don't do it. And that seems to be the whole point of this going, hey, it's a bad idea. Protect your account, enable your two-factor. Don't use account recovery, boosting, or cheating services. Saying that your fingers weren't on the keyboard when the cheating occurred will not help you. The fact that your account was used to cheat doesn't matter if you're controlling your account, doesn't matter if I give my account to Night Demon, it's still cheating. It doesn't matter who was doing the cheating, that account was still cheating. And they don't care if you sold your account or gave your account to someone else to do a recovery and get you through some content. They don't care about that. So don't do it. It's just a bad idea. It's not worth risking your account that you put so many hours into. You hear that, Demon? Don't cheat. Don't do it. It's not nice. And we have known issues. I've got issues. You've got issues. So hey guys, when speaking with a vendor, you can still hear the ambient dialogue of that vendor. They're very good at throwing their voices. Your Ionic Sentry sometimes doesn't chain lightning to enemies.
Still.
The one I was trying to remember during our dungeon run, yeah, these are basically all the same as what they have been. So the Drowning Labyrinth quest, steps 6 and 9 aren't able to be completed by some players. So do the first 5 steps, no problem. 6 and 9, though, you may or may not be able to get done. And this is due to the quest being a fix between character scoped and account scoped. If you have an alternate character and are making some progress on that quest, you'll need to get that character back into the correct research paper level for your main character. So what this means is basically, if you get through step 5, you can stuck on step 6. You're going to need to get that second character up to the same point to step 6 where that first character is. Then you should be able to get your research paper level where it needs to go. So what I told Blue over the weekend was, if you're going to do the quest or do the dungeon, just do it with one character. Do the quest with one character, ignore it with the others. Hopefully that'll avoid the issue. If not, then you just have to go do more dungeons and get more weapons, and Respawn will be very happy with you. But your extra charges from the Radiant Dance Machines still don't persist when transitioning into a new area. So don't go places. Just stay home. Stay where you are and enjoy those extra charges. A Triumphant Guardian rank 10 does not unlock when completing Grandmaster Nightfall. So just don't care about your Guardian rank. Problem solved. Your Iron Banner weekly challenge still refers to stasis, but it still should be Strand. But that doesn't help me because I can't play Iron Banner right now. But if I could, it wouldn't work. Sometimes, Respawn, in the Derealize exotic mission, the Taken Relic can drop below the surface in the Vrisk encounter. Yeah. Sometimes so, but sometimes it doesn't.
It's not possible. We don't have any problems in this game. It's a AAA title. There's no way.
No. When you're damaging the Shrieker boss in the Sundered Doctrine Dungeon, players receive critical damage feedback, but the damage is still regular base damage. So just keep shooting. The numbers are lying to you. Just keep shooting till the Shriekers are quiet.
Just keep shooting. Just keep shooting. Just keep shooting, shooting, shooting. What do you do when you think he's dead? You just shoot and just keep shooting. Just keep shooting. Just keep shooting, shooting, shooting.
And once you've done that shooting, when you're tracking a Korra's Drowning Labyrinth quest, the completion of certain steps may stop progress on the next steps. Now, Bungie, is this related to the step 6 and 9 issue, or is this a different issue? Did I just not do the dungeon quest at all because it's very broken? Because that's what I'm hearing. Sometimes, the Tomb of Want, which I forget exists, the Tomb of Want, a primer quest, does not progress after meeting step 3 and step 4 requirements. So again, you need to step 3 or 4, and sometimes it'll just say, no. And then finally, memento shaders can be previewed on armor in the armor management string. This is not intended. Mementos are not being considered for use on armor. So you can preview them, and you can dream, but your dreams will be dashed. There's nothing there for you. And then you'll just be disappointed going, oh, this would look so good though.
And how?
Yeah, so there's just lots of broken quest progression steps, and I'm like, yeah, that's a thing you could do, but like, why? And can you tell me like what can I do? At least the one where it's like, hey, this is we know it's related to the account progression. If you do it on one character, the other character needs to catch up. But if it's just gonna flat out break, you just go, yeah, no, it just breaks sometimes. Why? It just does. Like, come on.
Like, here's the question. Are you doing anything about it? Because these are the same issues we had last week, dude.
Maybe. They're maybe doing more than I am. And I'm doing next to nothing.
Specifically, but like, oh yeah, all the things we had broken last week, they're still broken. Okay. Is there an ETA? Is there a fix? Are you even trying to fix it? Are you leaving it alone? Can we get some insight as to what's happening here? Like,
no.
Bruh.
No. Mm-mm. Something has happened. Something might stop happening. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe it won't ever get better. Maybe this is as good as it's ever going to be. Yeah, so I'm just like, this whole list is basically the same list we've read for the last 2 or 3 weeks, going, yep, it's still broken. Don't run your dungeon. And I think, honestly, that's part of, in the back of my head about the dungeon stuff. I'm like, I can run it, I can do this, but there's a quest line associated with it. But is there, though? Because it's like, hey, we have this quest, only it's broken every time. For like, the last 3 dungeons, the quest steps haven't worked. There's been some major bug. I mean, the dungeon itself, other than, hey, the relic can appear under the floor, which, screws your flawless run for sure. But, like, the dungeon itself doesn't seem to be too terribly buggy. Again, my one hole clear makes me the absolute expert, obviously. But
the one thing that does happen sometimes that is buggy is like, I haven't really okay. So how like when you're in the room with the mirrors, I don't know if you did the room with the mirrors, the side rooms, right? In encounter 1, the first encounter, right? Well, the problem with that is like, as soon as you kill the tormentor that's in there, tormentor, I think it's tormentor. No, the guy. He's not a tormentor. He's whatever the hell that species is, right?
The large guy must die.
Yeah. So, as soon as you kill him, they like immediately respawn. I'm just like, but bruh, I don't even have time to pick up the mirror sometimes because he's right there again, just being oppressive, and it's like, let me at least pick up the mirror before you respawn the baddie.
You are not a self-res warlock. That is not Destiny 1. You cannot do this nonsense.
But they are.
maybe he just wants to be a warlock. Maybe that's what it was. He's like, listen, I'm a self-res warlock. You can't tell me otherwise.
I mean, I can tell you lots of things. You don't seem to listen, though. Don't respawn, dude.
Who needs to listen? Yeah, just stay dead. It's easier that way. But yeah, it's like there's just so many. I mean, at least you can use all the supers in this dungeon. So, better from that regard, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just... I do love this game. I play this game a lot, but some days I'm just like, but why?
The fun bits are fun. They are, for sure, fun.
I like making the number go up. I like punching the aliens in the face. They deserve it. It is absolutely my comfort zone. My comfort game. I don't have to think. I just have to do things. I do them over again, and then I get a reward, and then I throw the reward in the trash, and I say, great, there's another weapon I don't need to have. One day they'll give me a place to put my weapons.
Oh.
And then we have a kitty cat. But I don't trust that kitty cat, because that kitty cat has all the souls of the other kitty cats. So I don't know if I would trust that kitty cat. And then we have a movie of the week. I mean, I'm a cat guy, but not that cat guy. That cat guy can't be trusted.
Why? What did you... Look,
he's got all the souls coming out of his head.
I mean, all cats...
Kitty cat souls.
Those kitty cats didn't deserve that. This one is just being more open about it. I think you're being a little catist, my friend.
No, see that cat can't be trusted.
No cat can be trusted.
Then we have a movie of the week, and that's the end of the TWAB. And they've got more things coming. Do you have your best and strongest PvE builds ready for the Court of Blades? Yes. We also have a game of Guardian Games Moments of Triumph and a lot more in the oven, so get ready. Stay tuned. Just 5 more days as they write this till Act 2. And just like a day as you hear this until Act 2. And then we'll be in Act 2, doing all the things. Maybe with kitty cats. I don't know.
This is your weekly rundown of episode Heresy, week 6, starting on March 11th. Act 2 of episode Heresy kicks off this week, with a new activity called the Court of Blades. Set within the Dreadnought's Hole of Souls area, players will be transported to different arenas across the system, from Io to Europa and on board a Hive warship. The Court of Blades comes with new augments available for each run, which provide challenges for players to overcome in many different ways. These augments will stack the more that the Guardians play the activity, which can be different combinations for every run. And the difficulty will start to escalate after every 2 challenges. In addition, there will be a random set of armaments that will rotate on a daily basis, which players will be able to purchase and combine between phases, allowing them to combat those augmented challenges. The Court of Blades will be available in normal and expert versions, with the adept versions of the Act 2 weapons only dropping in the expert version. Act 2's weapons are the Strand Adaptive Frame Glaive, Refusal of the Call, the Void Lightweight Frame Bow, Ammonitius, the Arc Heavy Burst Sidearm, Division, the Strand Adaptive Frame Submachine Gun, Mirror Imago, and the Void Adaptive Frame Fusion Rifle, Afterlight. Act 2 will also bring more upgrades via the Shaping Slab, with a whole new set for Court of Blades. And the Tablet of Ruin Artifact will also be getting 5 more mods unlocked with Act 2. Overload Trace Rifle, Beam Medic, Elemental Siphon, Harsh Refraction, and Limit Break. Plus, the exotic submachine gun, Barrow-Dyad, will also be getting 2 new Catalyst perks in Act 2, One for All and Target Lock. Also arriving with Act 2 of episode Heresy, the annual Guardian Games will be kicking off, where Hunters, Warlocks and Titans compete against each other for honour, gear, and the bragging rights that come with being the winners of the Guardian Games. This year brings a new boss rush mode called Rushdown, where Guardians will battle a series of bosses taken from Destiny 2's campaigns, seasonal story missions, and exotic missions. With each boss encounter defeated, combatants in the activities increase in difficulty, with a total of 5 encounters per run. You'll also have a time limit to complete the run, with time added for each successful encounter completion. Completing encounters in a run will earn you rewards, with faster times offering a chance for more drops or higher quality loot. Guardians will have 3 ways to play Rushdown. You can start with the warm-up mode, which will be your entry point for the activity. Standard and expert modes then ramp up the difficulty, offering more powerful combatants with modifiers and adding revive tokens into the mix. Each mode will offer options for standard matchmaking, class-based matchmaking, and private fire teams. You can increase your score by completing encounters quickly, and earning bonus points for extra time remaining. Limiting your use of revive tokens will also increase your score, as you get bonuses for unused tokens. And completing at least 3 encounters in any mode will guarantee a Guardian Games weapon drop for that run. Rushdown will have 5 score thresholds: Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum and Diamond. And reaching higher thresholds in the Standard and Expert modes will improve your chances for additional perks on Guardian Games weapon drops for that run. Higher scores in Expert mode will also offer the chance to earn fully masterwork Guardian Games weapons with additional perks. Last year introduced Skimmers as a brand new exotic vehicle category for Destiny 2. The All-Star Vector Skimmer will again be available for everybody to earn during the Guardian Games event. Just pick it up from Eva Levante after completing the onboard mission quest. And if you want to keep it permanently after the event finishes, complete the drop-in quest and the All-Star Vector will be yours to keep forever. To take part in the Guardian Games, you'll need to visit Eva Levante at the tower, where she will gift you a class item which is needed for the competition as well as the quest. Wearing your class item is how you earn medallions and unlock quest progression, as well as the challenges from the event card. The goal of the Guardian Games is simple. Your class must win the majority of the days during the 3-week-long event, and that can only be done by depositing a ton of medallions. With that, Eva Levante will have a great variety of contender cards to choose from, divided between Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. The Diamond medallions awarded are worth a lot, and can change the course of the day, so you're limited to 2 a week. All medallions Guardians bank in the tower will be counted daily, and the crest of the daily winning class will be inserted into the tower podium, for everyone to keep track of their class standing. Depending on your contribution to the Guardian Games, you'll also earn glows, and the bragging rights that comes with them. One for being the best in Tower Guardian, another for being the member of the winning class of the day, a shoulder glow linked to your weekly performance in Rushdown, a second shoulder glow for your weekly performance in Supremacy and Gambit, and a bronze, silver or gold glow in the shape of a laurel crown, depending on your class's place in the Friday coronation ceremony. At the end of the event, the class that wins the most days will be crowned the winner, and their class item will change to gold until the next event, to remind everybody of their victory. With Guardian Games return, previous armour ornament sets will be available in the Eververse store, along with a new set for 2025. This year's armour is based on gladiators, and will be available for Bright Dust and Silver during the event. Guardian Games also brings with it a new weapon, the Arc Adaptive Frame Trace Rifle Coronas. Plus, you'll still be able to collect the previous Guardian Games weapons. The Arc Compressed Waveframe Heavy Grenade Launcher Hullabaloo, the Strand Lightweight Frame Scout Rifle Taraxipos, and the Void Aggressive Frame Submachine Gun the Title, with new perk pools. Also available will be the Guardian Games Memento, which will be available randomly when banking gold and platinum medallions, and guaranteed when depositing a diamond. Guardian Games will be available from March 11th to April 1st, 2025. Act 1 of Episode Heresy brought with it the new 3-player activity, the Nether. Set within the Dreadnought Patrol Zones, Guardians fight in random and varied encounters with different events and objectives every time. Inside the Nether, players will find unique modifiers and stackable buffs called boons. They increase your power over time. These come in minor, major, and corrupted versions, and various pickups can be hidden in chests and earned throughout the Dreadnought. The Nether has 3 modes: the Nether Exploration for those solo types who want to just explore the Dreadnought, a match-made mode on baseline advanced difficulty, and a selectable non-match-made expert version. From Act 3 of Episode Revenant, we have the new exotic mission Kel's Fall, where you can earn the new Void Exotic Shotgun Slayer's Fang, and new Prison of Elders challenge Kel's Vengeance, which can be found over in the Last City for 2 to 3 players. Act 2 of Episode Revenant brought with it the Tomb of Elders, and Contest of Elders over in the Last City, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of Act 2. Also available for a weekly pinnacle is the Salvation's Edge raid, over in the Pale Heart, and new dungeon Sundered Doctrine, which can be found over on the Throne World, with the exotic linear fusion rifle Finality's Ager up for grabs, and a whole suite of new weapons and armour. Just make sure to visit Icor over in the tower to pick up the quest Drowning Labyrinth to enter. Over in the Last City we have Onslaught Salvation, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of the opening act of Revenant. This new version of Onslaught brings with it new defences, 3 new mats and new enemies to fight. You can select from Widow's Court, Eventide Ruins and Kel's Grave, either normal or expert. Also, the original Onslaught has been updated to include some of the new additions. Located in the Vanguard playlist, the featured Onslaught map this week will be Vostok, with the Siege Hook Ogre kicking off the boss rotation. In the Last City on the Helm, the exotic mission Encore is still available, with 2 difficulty options, normal and expert. Also, from Episode Echoes, we have the 3 new Battleground activities, Delve, Conduit and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach Executable. The expert Battlegrounds will start this week's rotation with Conduit. The Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Strand and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blind One features Scorn enemies and the Plagues, Sigrus and Veracus. The Ascendant challenge will be the Agonon's Abyss over in the Baildred Wishes Lost sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian is located in Archer's Line, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Zoltal in Sorrow's Harbour. Nightmare hunts Tanix, Isolation, Zydron, Servitude, and Ghoul, Rage. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Tanix and the Apostate Sniper. On Europa this week, Corodis the Dark Priestess will be the Empire Hunt, Eventide Ruins will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo challenge will be Survival. Dares of Eternity expert difficulty rounds are Kabul, Taken, and Crota. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Perfector's armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 2, Scathelock, Extraordinary Rendition, Brass Attacks, Threaded Needle, Code Duello, Imperial Needle, Far Future, Honor's Edge, Distant Terminus, Interference 6, Shepherd's Watch, and Annual Skate. The Witch Queen Weekly Story mission is The Cunning, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense, with the Arc Grenade Launcher Tarnation and Vazul Solar Scorn Chieftain as the boss. The Lightfall Weekly mission is Downfall, the Partition mission will be Backdoor, and the Vex Incursion will be Zephyr Concourse. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The final Straits Cooperative Focus campaign mission this week will be Descent. The 12 Guardian Match-Made Excision mission is also available next to the raid for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Salvation's Edge raid challenge this week is the 3rd encounter repository called Balanced Diet. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the 3rd encounter Macrocosm called Cosmic Equilibrium. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the 4th encounter Rogue called Looping Catalyst. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the 1st encounter Confluxes called Wait For It. The Deep Zone Crypt challenge this week is the 1st encounter Crypt Security called Red Rover. And the last Swiss challenge this week is the 5th encounter Riven called Strength of Memory. Featured Pinnacle Raid 1 will be Kingsfall over in the Legends tab, and featured Pinnacle Raid 2 will be the Garden of Salvation over on the Moon, with all challenges available for all encounters. With the exotic Scout Rifle Touch of Malice being farmable from the final boss in Kingsfall, and the exotic Trace Rifle Divinity being acquired via completing the raid puzzles in Garden. Also, the Garden of Salvation weapons are now craftable, with the red borders being farmable for the week. Plus, you can grab a quest from Hawthorne in the tower for a guaranteed red border on a full completion. And because we've had another dungeon added to this episode, it's altered the rotation. Pinnacle Dungeon 1 will be the Pit of Heresy on the Moon, and Pinnacle Dungeon 2 will be the Spire of the Watcher over on the Throne World. The exotic mission rotator will be Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic grenade launcher being the main reward. The Season of Arisen's weapon set, plus the Tusk Allegiance armor set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and Zero Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Absolutely Stunning, Heretical Arsenal, Void Focus, The Trials That Define Us, Unnamed Entry, and 3 classified challenges. Lost Sectors, Tuesday Hydroponics Delta on Neptune, Wednesday Gilded Precept on Neptune, Thursday Thriller Dome on Neptune, Friday The Broken Deep in the Pale Heart, Saturday The Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart, Sunday Bunker E15 on Europa, and Monday Perdition on Europa. The Grandmaster Nightfalls continue this week with our 6th featured Nightfall, seeing us face off against Ulnath Light Cleanser in the Psyops Battlegrounds Cosmodrome, with a new Void Sidearm low to seat as the featured adept weapon. The 6v6 playlist will be Control. The 6v6 quick play mode should be Mayhem. Showdown should be in the Small Teams quick play. Guardian Game Supremacy should also be available, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. This week should also see bonus Vanguard ranks and double Nightfall drops available all week long. And as a reminder, the annual Moments of Triumph continue, with a collection of 33 challenges celebrating everything you've been able to achieve in this past year. If you've been active, you'll likely already have some of these completed, which just gets you closer to the 26 you'll need to earn the 2024 seal and title. Still available is the Destiny 10th Anniversary in-game celebration event, and don't forget to keep an eye on Zer this Friday at Reset to see if he's offering another chance to grab a random rolled exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the 6th week of the Final Shape episode Heresy.
So we have a small Respawn report roundup. Some things we've definitely already mentioned. I don't remember which ones those were, so that'll be a treat for you.
All right, Bungie, you absolutely cooked today. Rite of the Nine is a huge step in the right direction. Honestly, the new holofoil weapons, a reason to play old content, reason to recycle content, you mean? Utilizing old content correctly? You mean recycling old content? Take my money, bro. Thank you. This was over delivery and my jaw dropped at the weapons getting not only new rolls, but new designs and shiny versions. And then new PvP mode, I almost passed out. So, this apparently was a discussion that somebody said.
Yeah, statement.
It says r/Destiny the game. Oh, there it is. There's the name. Okay, yeah. Statement. Okay, I see. Because in the top, I saw like the Bungie symbol. I was like, did they just like say this to themselves? Are they gassing themselves up? What the hell?
Yes. Sometimes you just can be like, listen, we're great, and here's why.
And then DTG Bot says, this is a list of links to comments made by Bungie employees on this thread. So that's also what threw me off. I'm like, they really are gaslighting themselves. Not gaslighting, gassing themselves up. We're aware of an issue where the time-honored emblem gifted with any purchase of...
The important part was this is the Bungie employee saying this is free access through the Rite of the Nine event. Just reiterating that you don't need to own these dungeons. I see. Yeah, Zachary is Zachary with an X instead of an A. Is someone who works at Bungie saying, you just confirm, you don't need to own the dungeons to do the Rite of the Nine event. You get access through the Rite of the Nine event.
There you go.
And then about that emblem.
Okay, we're aware of the time-honored emblem gifted with any purchase of Moments of Triumph items on the Bungie store. It's currently showing temporary art. We're planning to fix this on Tuesday, March 11th. Yep, that's Tuesday. With Destiny 2 update 8.2.5. And it does show the Royal Dragon or the Welsh Dragon, however you want to look at that. What else we got? You don't need to read this.
If you buy that, then you're not actually getting the dragon, you're getting temporary art. But it'll one day be a dragon.
Taking for the shows being buffed and Bungies we're working on it. Okay. There's a lot of tweet right here, but Peroty paraphrase it says failing shields being buffed, Bungie's aware, working on it. Boom, done. And the last tweet says this is by Hellchicken949, great name. The new Guardian Games activity looks cool and armor looks great too. The one thing I'm confused about is they said that there's a new seasonal aggressive frame fusion coming in Act 2, but the fusion is adaptive? ? Yes, correct. It's adaptive. Thanks for the catch. Updated dimension in the TWID. And that does appear to be the entire report.
Yeah. And basically the big long thing was basically tailings. Yes, tailings. the taken failing shields are like just covering way more area than they should be. And this person goes into detail and has lots of, clips and video and everything else. Basically saying, the tailings.
Tailings.
We're back to Rewind Wounds all over again. The
we never left that, but
phalanx shields are covering way more space than they should and overlapping. And it's not your imagination. They are beefier. So Bungie's like, yeah, we're aware and we're working on it. Now, Demon, show me some pictures. Let me watch some videos. Put me in front of my iPad. Let me be the iPad kid and just tell me what I should be watching.
Well, I can do you better than watching. I can tell you this week, I think it was this week, there was a video going around. I think 360 Gaming TV have got a video. Other content creators got a video on this. Now, it's all about an add-on for Firefox and Chrome that you can put onto as an extension. And it's a Season Pass Wayback Machine, it's called. Destiny 2 Season Pass Wayback Machine. And once you implement this add-on to your browser, you can then go to the Bungie website, you can log in, then go down to Season Pass Progress. If you then look at the current season and scroll down the page, and it will show you everything that you have missed off of every Season Pass since Season Passes have been implemented. And I didn't realise that I'd actually missed out on some of the armours, some of the ornaments that I think Season of the Deep, I'd missed out some of the Hunter ones. There was some exotic ciphers. There were the Deep Sight Harmonizers. I'd actually missed a couple of Deep Sight Harmonizers at the end of, I think, Season of the Deep and Season of something else, Season of Defiance, I think, as well. I was like, oh my God, I can actually get these back. And you can click on them and they will pull them to your character. But this is actually through like this, this add-on to your add-on extension to your browser, and then going to the actual Bungie website. And it's through the actual Bungie website that it lists all these things, and it's fantastic. So I did it this week.
And it'll actually bring it into your game, and you can recover them?
Yeah, the extension works through the actual Bungie website.
Yeah, it goes into the API or whatever and pulls the old ones you haven't. Oh, and Josh Hunt made this. Okay. Because I'm always sitting here going, if you want me to go to a GitHub page and find an extension, yeah, this is someone who's done a ton of work in Destiny Land. That's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, I saw someone talking about this, but I didn't think to grab the video. But yeah, because I think I watched Leopard or whatever, looking over it, and he was just like going back, just season and season and season, going, oh, look at all the stuff I have that I never grabbed. That's excellent.
It is. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the video that I've got is from 360 Gaming TV, but it has all the links in the actual pinned comments. So if you need to kind of get to that. I was then, because I was going back and playing Crucible this week, and I was playing in the comp list, I used my Hunter and I used my Warlock to go and get my Redrix Estocs. So I wanted a kind of a PvP build that was really cool. And there were 2 PvP builds for the Hunters that I found that were insane. Now, one of them was using the Radiant Dance Machines, and the other one was using the Bombardiers. Now, one with the Radiant Dance Machines was by Daltonix, and we're using the Tommy's Matchbook. You get a 0.43 TTK. Now, you do have to take some damage with the Tommy's Matchbook, but it looks like it's worth it. I didn't veer on the side of doing that because I actually wanted to win some of my comp matches. I didn't think that comp would be the best place to kind of go and practice this in. So I veered to the other side of the builds, and I've got one by Spade, which is the most terrifying prismatic hunter PvP build. Now, this is using the Bombardiers, and the build is amazing. I mean, when people rush you and you dodge out of the way, you create a Spectre.
That's been nerfed into oblivion, though, man.
No, but you create a Spectre, you drop the bomb, and depending on what subclass you are with the Bombardiers, it gives you a different effect.
Yes.
And you can, as it's on Prismatic, you can use your arc-empowered melee to roll round, punch somebody because they're disorientated. There's a bomb going off. Yeah, it's really cool. And I loved using it. So I've put that one in the show notes for this week.
Then you grab your elemental honing weapon and you'll have all those things procced.
And you know, we've been talking about my build that it's not my build, it was somebody else's build
that you use. Got it.
The unkillable build for the Titans that I use with my sword and my strongholds. Well, guess who's just gone one better with their builds this week? Aztecross. Aztecross with the new sword that you can get from this act, with the Titan Barricade, with the Arc Barricade and blocking. They went through a Nightfall. I think it was a Grandmaster Nightfall. Just 3 Titans blocking and using this sword with certain perks on there. But the build is amazing. It's called the Unkillable build, and I will also drop that into the show notes because it works with my strongholds, and I love it. And yeah, I can't wait to try it.
I didn't see that one, but I watched Esoteric running what is probably the same build, same idea.
Okay.
So, of course, soloing a GM Nightfall. Of you using the sword build with the lighting, it's ridiculous.
So yeah, those are my videos this week. 2 hunters and a Titan.
Well, there we go. Well, I've got a couple. The first one is soloing a GM, but I spend 99% of the time blocking with the strongholds, and it's Esoteric's. He is, as Noble calls him, the guy on YouTube who doesn't speak at all, but just shows you what he's doing and puts text on the screen. Him doing the GM Nightfall with this build, just hang out going, I can block and cause lightning and throw things down and win. And then I've got one, if you are trying to make use of your elemental honing, Duddits 2, Electric Boogaloo, has the crazy kinetic tremors buff with elemental honing and Two-Tailed Fox. And he's basically like, hey, you can use the Two-Tailed Fox to get a really quick elemental honing thing going. And that apparently buffs the kinetic tremors a lot. Like, I think he was getting like 12,000 damage or something per like kinetic tremor burst after the fact. So, if you want to just play around with some elemental honing and a very, very silly rocket launcher, good way to do it. The Mactix build that I can't remember if we've talked about before, but it was the build that Blue said, put this on, we're running the dungeon. You don't have to do anything else. You can just hang out and punch things. Is Mactix the best meta Titan build in Destiny 2? Uses the insurmountable Skull Fort and Thunderclap and the Barricade. Rinse and repeat, basically. Put on the weapons that you need to put on for what you're trying to do, but it barely even matters. The only thing I'd say is if you use an Area of Denial grenade launcher, that will also help you get your bolt charges up quicker because it's just damaging everything in the room. And that's just great fun. Because it's been a minute, Jacketage has the 27 raid chest for casual solo players with no movement tech. So if you watch those videos before going, I can't do the sword jumping, I can't do the boots, I can't, I can't or don't want to figure out how to do all the crazy jumping around things. No eager edge, no mountaintop, no sparrow tech, no out of bounds, only 1 checkpoint. So a way to get 27 raid chests, just show up and claim those chests, and he breaks it down by raid, shows you, where to get zoned into and how to get those. And because we haven't done one of those in a while, and there's always people going, how do I get raid loot without having to raid? And then a question I sort of had around, I like a barricade. I enjoy standing around a barricade, but I really enjoy playing as cosplaying as a hunter. I just want to thrust her around. I just want to bounce around like an angry pinball. And Maven has a build that uses, the new Titan aspect with the barricade. Hear me out. It's better than you think. And just sort of uses the barricade, again, to sort of do the same thing using your class ability to thrust her around. So if you're like, I want to electrocute people, but not have to stand still, that's one to check out and have fun with. And that's what I've got this week. Only thing left to do is to say
he's not going to have any, is he?
No.
I'm not even going to ask. No, just skipping that part. I'm going right to thanking our lovely patrons, like Renard Calant, who can't be threatened with a good time.
Renard Colante.
Ooh, do it again.
Renard Colante.
We're going to need more people with R's in their names. So our other patrons, if you could just add some R's to your names, that would be great. I mean, one person that already has them is the Scarlet KM.
The Scarlet KM.
Right in the middle for you. Dedicated Wham 64. Sorry, no R's there. Gonna have to add some ourselves. Our lovely Auto Dance Troop. Our grenade throwers, Golden God 1562, Fire Squad 1688, The Man Conan from Texas, and Noble. Great YouTube video enjoyer. I think we should just sponsor the YouTube video section from Noble every week, because I know how much he loves watching his YouTube videos. It's just his favorite thing to do. Pull up some YouTube and watch all the Destiny build guides. And I'm picturing him getting angry at his recording right about now. Perfect. And then Deacon's Day 1 raid team of Gravy Jeff, who's there holding it down with Deacon, trying to figure out the best way to master all the encounters. Thank you for all our lovely patrons, and thank you for listening to us. We've rambled on about this game for quite a while. You're welcome. Until next week, thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Night Team, and your Hunters don't want to respawn to real life. You can find this show on YouTube. All the videos are there. All the things are there. If you've got comments, concerns, things you want to tell us, how we're wrong, how we can't read words for anything, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. Find this show wherever you get your podcasts. And YouTube, every week, new episodes, weekly update videos, live streams. Who knows what's there? You should go there and subscribe immediately. And if you're saying, hey, that was a cool build you talked about, or what was that video you mentioned, or there was a link you talked about that has a thing there somewhere, twotitansandahunter.com. All the show notes are there. All the show notes for all the shows. Whether you're on this episode, whether you're 10 episodes back, they're all there. You can go find them. You can go find all the information. And if you want to toss some money our way, patreon.com/TTH. You can join the Outer Dance Group, threatens with a good time, or throw more grenades. And if you want a more casual encounter, coffee.com/twotitansandahunter. And if you want to see the show live and watch just how poorly we read words on a Saturday morning, twitch.tv/no-one-responds in real life. And I'll say it. Will ever be used? Who knows? Twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter. We are not streamers nor YouTubers. Ignore the fact that there's things there. We are not good at this, but we do our best. Until next week, when we try to do our best again, say goodbye, gents.
Deuces.
Ta-ra.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Taken phalanx. Taken phalanx.
Phalanx taken.
I'm going to start each episode with my vocal exercises. Rewind rounds. Taken phalanx. Other words that I inexplicably cannot say.